Happy to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. Futures little change this morning ahead of core CPI data for July just out. We'll have a look to start things off here. The month-over-month number in line with expectations. You can see for July, 0.5 expected, 0.5 is the number. If you come up here to the year-over-year number, in line as well, 4.3, 4.3, 0.4, 0.3 there. So inflation data positive, it would look like, in line with expectations. This was going to be the major catalyst for the markets today. Obviously, an important number when it comes to the direction the Fed will take when it comes to whether they will start tapering either in this quarter or possibly towards the later of the year. We'll have a little look at some earnings today. We had a couple of names on the earnings front to discuss. Coinbase Global trading higher this morning after a beat for them. Fubo TV back to the upside as well. The 10-year, worth noting as well and worth keeping an eye on this morning, back to the upside. It was 1.37%. I'll double check again, but definitely moving back higher for the 10-year. And cloud AI-based lending platform Upstart up big time this morning after an earnings beat for them as well. It's Wednesday, August 11th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. All right, we'll just get off that for us, Lucas. There, the board not updating at the moment, but we are back in positive territory, guys. 0.17 for the overall market after that CPI number. So a nice look to kick things off. As I said, 0.17, 0.16, so a bit of a spike there for S&P futures. Bringing the guys here and get their take. Obviously, in line with expectations, mean it wasn't higher than expected on the inflation front, which is a good thing. But a good look overall, guys. We're back in positive territory here.
Yeah, I mean, I see the NASDAQ got a bit of a bump there. Good morning, obviously, to everybody. And go to 50.
Why is my camera like my head takes up the whole shot? Go back to that shot for a second. Go back to that shot for a second. Like this is literally the whole. No, the 3 shot. Do you have the 3 shot there? I want to see how that looks again. There it is. Yeah, you see, like, Hey, guys, what's going on?
Sean show.
Hey, guys. Yeah, the inflation data. I'm just trying to get out this sticky note for everybody. Yeah, we'll get that all fixed up. We're in our new spot right here, so obviously we need to. Yeah, old spot. Yeah, what is old is new again. So here we go. Randy fixed up this table. It should be a fun one. We're still. I'm still. I think you're fine because you kind of still have the same setup. See, there we go. Look, I'm half the screen. Yeah, so I apologize for that. Maybe we can fix that as we go because I feel like it's too much face. Welcome. I haven't even had a look at what exactly the inflation numbers were, but I saw a monster spike up here in the NASDAQ.
Yeah, I mean, as expected, but I guess that's going to rally the markets here anyways. And we're starting off on a good foot here, obviously, this morning. It's always interesting when you get these numbers. Sometimes it's just more about what has happened before. Like we've been sliding to the downside. There were some concerns. I mean, you just had Tyson Foods talk about passing on price increases of like 39, like whatever. They're increasing prices by like 39%, and then you get everyone talking about it's not going to be transitory. So you get like an expected print, I suppose, today, and it's a little bit bullish. Keep in mind there was that rotation yesterday that happened, out of some of the tech names, and they were all sort of falling to the downside. Some of your higher flyer type of names, and then of course we know the materials did well after the infrastructure bill. So it's going to be a wild one. You didn't say double. I don't think we said WWW. Oh my God. WW, not WWE or whatever. WWE, formerly Weight Watchers, what I'm trying to spit out here, down 24%. They're after earnings as well. So there's a lot moving around. We'll probably talk about Virgin Galactic just because they got a downgrade. It broke that 30. It was looking good, and then I had to get out because it broke back up. Boo.
Yeah, definitely. For Virgin, for SPCE, for WW International as well. Yeah, if you missed it, guys, the CPI number there, if you're just joining us a little late, in line with expectations. Again, 0.5% versus 0.5% for July. There it is. One more time. 0.5 versus 0.5. Before we go on, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, guys. Thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you a positive, profitable day. Please enjoy the show and don't forget to like this video. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. There's a whole bunch to talk about this morning. There's a little bit more negativity coming back into the airlines group, on the watch list this morning, which is available. Miss V will help you out in the chat. If you need that link, all you need is an email address. Airlines to the downside this morning. Southwest came out and said that this Delta variant has caused more cancellations for Q3 when it comes to their bookings at this point. So they are looking at a little bit of a negative story, it would appear at this point, for Q3. I just saw a note on UAL as well. So we'll talk about the airlines, but I wanted to mention this DD Global again, because it is trading a little bit higher. If you remember, after collapsing essentially over the past couple of weeks in regards to its IPO, they announced this morning, guys, more management changes to come. It's not terribly active at this point, but one that has given us pretty good opportunities over the past week or so.
It's definitely given us trading opportunities. We haven't traded the last couple of sessions when you can actually see, oh, my trade's showing up there. That's not bad. So the last couple of times we traded it was when it broke that it was below that $9 range. And then, of course, when it took it out, and there was that great reversal at $10. But since then, and we'll show the 15-minute chart so you can see what's going to stand out like a sore thumb. Yeah, look at this it's more like 9.10 over here, 1, 2, and then a bit of a higher low here, like 9.15 or so, and that's what you see in the pre-market. It's basically flat on the session, but that's pretty interesting support that obviously if this were to get broken on DD, you look down towards, I mean, whether you're talking $8.50 or $8, I think that's perfectly reasonable. So it's a level we'll play off of. It's not trading a heck of a lot in the pre-market, so I don't know if that news story is really going to give it the juice to go, but you can see the opportunity that comes off of this $9 level. Of course, if it breaks, that can be a good one. And then if it bounces off support, I mean, you've seen it go like 50, 60 cents every single time. I mean, Kathy Wood in her webinar was asked about whether Chinese names were uninvestable, and I think she came out saying like healthcare was basically a place that was an opportunity, and that was about it. She sold off all her positions. Now, DD, I'll only be looking at it if it tests that $9 level. And if there's gigantic size there, it's a scalp trade, and a scalp trade only for me. Probably going like 901, 902 long, that kind of a thing. But it's going to stand out like a sore thumb if it breaks.
I'm still trying to get the chat thing upside here, but yeah, I've been looking at Alibaba at the same time all the way, guys. So I mean, my play is always going to be on this one. I'm not investing in any other names, and it's not even that good. It's down to 190. I mean, step back down to 196 now again, and not doing too much today. Only 41,000 shares, but that's Alibaba today. Continues to go down. I do like DD though. I think that when you get something that's this depressed. And I know we don't know much about it, but you know, this depressed as an asset here, I just think that, I mean, we've been depressed more. We've been down to $8. But let's just see where we go from here. DD, again, maybe on watch, maybe not on watch. We can check the imbalance locator, see if there's, I can't because it's hidden on my hidden screen that I don't have. So we will check the imbalance locator soon. Hey, I like what you guys are saying, Pumpkinhead there on the chat, but we'll just move on.
Isn't that a horror character?
But now I don't know, but now it's going to bother me all show, so I'm already flustered. So back to you, Brendan.
Let's bring in Mark Roberts here and get his take on a Wednesday morning. It is going to be a busy one, as we said. A little bit of positivity coming through as we got this number that is better than expected. So we'll see. As far as any kind of follow through is concerned, Mark, good to have you on a Wednesday. Back to record highs here overall. We had record high closes again yesterday. Is this going to help going forward, or is this just another positive to throw on the pile?
I think it's another positive. My interest is watching the 10-year bond. The higher the rates, it will be a headwind for the mega tech names. So I'm leaning toward more value than I am tech, but that doesn't preclude scalping for trades on good news.
Overall, the market definitely with a positive catalyst going into this morning. I want to talk a little bit about this infrastructure deal that got put through yesterday. We did see big moves in X, in some of the infrastructure related names this morning. Are there a few in this group that you know kind of have earmarked going forward as positive for you?
You could look at anything from Vulcan Materials to the cement companies to the steel companies. The list is quite enormous. But again, nothing's happening tomorrow. So these are quick trades. And if the market should have any correction between now and when money actually gets spent, that's an issue. Plus, Nancy Pelosi is still playing games with the House, and Senator Manchin wants to hear nothing about it. So the House on the $3.5 trillion second bill may be of an issue.
That's going to be the point here. Obviously, they're saying, you know, September at the earliest before we get this into the House. So in that time period from now to then, if we can get an opportunity, great. If not, you know, we wait until we get any kind of concrete evidence?
Correct, and no pun intended on that, concrete. Yes, exactly.
Always pun intended, my friend. Let's talk about oil here. Obviously, another day, another negative move here for oil. We had President Biden coming out saying he was going to lean on OPEC a little bit here to increase production once again. It's been a volatile summer, which is typical. We usually see it to the upside as traveling increases. Definitely a different catalyst here, but the same result. It's been volatile for oil.
Yeah, if you take the politics away and just do the policy, whether we were better off in the previous administration or not, we at least were independent of anybody for our oil and gas. Now we're importing oil from Russia, and now we're asking OPEC to increase production, which probably didn't have to be done if there isn't such an infight with this administration over fossil fuels. So this is turning out to be quite a mess, and it will continue to be a mess as you have Iraq coming on and other players adding oil to the move. OPEC Plus is really in a quandary.
I want to get your take here before we bring in the guys quickly on this Delta Plus variant that lingers in the background still. We had more negativity. Southwest coming out today talking about Q3 a little bit more negative now, some cancellations coming through. Is this a case of, you kind of just got to go hands off and wait and see what happens with these airlines?
Yeah, I think this is a hiccup for the simple reason that, yes, we all know that business travel has not come back. Yes, we know that there'll be delays to going back to the office, but I don't know any of my friends that have canceled domestic flights. Also, airports are filled, and at this point, the airlines are facing perhaps short-term confusion, but there's a shortage of pilots, an increase in jet fuel, and that's also ramping it up. LUV tends to be the best as far as hedging for oil or jet fuel. But yes, that was a concern. And Frontier, the budget company, made a similar announcement about a week or two ago.
It's not a huge move, obviously, when it comes to Southwest, but definitely worth noting. Are there specific levels, maybe in a Southwest or Alaska or one of the other ones, Spirit Airlines even, that you're looking at that kind of have a go sign on them?
Yeah, these have been in sideways moves now for a good month and a half. So just look for the clusters. We wouldn't want to see major breaks, but I don't think you're going to get those major breaks. You may get light volume and then snapbacks late in the day. So these will be great trading stocks. But the longer term, I'm sitting with my positions.
Thanks a lot, of course. As always, Mark, I want to get a few of your thoughts on some specific names, because that's what we try to do around here. And as you can see, we're back to our new old digs. Sean and I sitting back in the cockpit, so it feels like old hat for us. But I want to talk about the banks. Now, just looking over at the NASDAQ here, and we just hit that 15,100 mark. heading back to the upside after we got that initial, I guess, inflation data that came through. You know, the banks had a relatively strong day yesterday. Of course, you said you were watching yields in general. And I guess the thing is, the yield curve hasn't made a ton of traditional sense recently. So, you know, if we go down that line of sort of thinking maybe contrarian here, and that, you know, there might not be that big of a move overall in the upcoming weeks in Treasury yields, where does that put us with the banks? So we get like this slight rally and bouncing. I think we had like 137. I think we're at the latest. You know, you got Morgan breaking out at 100 here, and this looks all pretty good. But is this something that might be short-lived? We're going to be heading sideways here because the yield curve has fooled me before.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think these are exhaustion moves of people trying to get into the month. Maybe they haven't had enough financial exposure. I wouldn't be shorting them, but perhaps taking some off, waiting for another dip. But it's like any group of stocks, the stronger the economy does come back and yields will go higher, you want to be in financials, but maybe not as full a position, because if you bought Wells Fargo at 20 and it's now 40, or the same in JP Morgan or Goldman, they're now bigger percentage of your portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. And just another one that reported here, I mean, you know, Wendy's up 4%. So if we talk about the reopening, and look, you can talk about the Chipotles of the world that absolutely crush it, and that's like the greatest stock of all time, according to a lot of people, one of them anyways. You know, when it comes to the overall recovery, and we talk about like the restaurants here, is there anything that appeals to you in this space? I know we've had some discussions before about more on the retail side of things, you know, people getting out and updating their wardrobes and makeup and whatnot. What stage are we at with when it comes to some of these restaurants? I mean, there's staffing concerns there as well, but Wendy's comes with a good print. It hasn't been a very particularly interesting stock recently. Is there anything that stands out for you with this or any other name in the space?
Yeah, so Chipotle, CMG, I'm looking for that to finally pull back. It's starting to roll a bit. McDonald's has been sitting on its 100-day moving average. What's interesting is when these companies are going to start really getting more aggressive in announcing that food elements are more expensive. Companies have already stated that there's a shortage of bags because so many people had been taking out and not eating in the establishments. I see that continuing, certainly if COVID-19 or the plus continues to be a problem. So these companies will have issues. I think they'll pull back. And again, there's still buys.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of Chipotle, I think when we say pull back, we'll just pull up the chart here so everyone can kind of understand how strong it has been. To the upside, we had Tyson Foods come out essentially saying that they're going to be raising prices, so transitory, schmanzatory, I should say. We'll bring you over to some of the. We'll talk specifically about Pfizer, but this could be, we could be saying Pfizer, we could be saying Moderna. It doesn't really make a difference. You know, clearly, front of everybody's mind is going to be these booster shots, and then coming through with the Delta variant. Now, we've heard some comments saying this is going to be like the last possible wave. I think it might have been Scott Gottlieb saying something along those lines. This is a pretty big move up for a name like a Pfizer, which is generally speaking a pretty defensive one, and you're not going to get these sexy moves to the upside here. Where do you stand? Because Moderna, every time I look at that chart, I'm thinking it's about to pull back $50. What would you think about Pfizer up at these price levels? I mean, we're marching on 50 here in a matter of days.
Yeah, I'm a believer that you're going to get pullbacks in these names. Yes, we'll get the booster shot, but at the end of the day, these are a little bit ahead of themselves. I'd wait for pullbacks, but the pharmas have to be part of your portfolio. The only issue going forward is whether or not the present administration in the U.S. forces these companies to give up drug conversation, if you will, or open the floodgates for other countries to use it, or whether they challenge them on general drug prices. These are political actions that still are looming. So euphoria may be good now, but I'd still have a little bit of a caution hat on.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. And just as we always do here, I just want to know, is there a name that's maybe we haven't talked about here that's on your radar specifically for today or for the rest of the week? Doesn't have to be an earnings play or just something that Mark Roberts is recommending we pull up the chart of, because usually it's a banger.
Yeah, I think all I'm doing now is balancing the portfolio. I started to get potential sell alerts in the triple Qs and the XLK. They concern me a little bit that tech may be ahead of themselves, but that could be a false signal. I've put a lot of money into the consumer staples, mostly the food inflation, ACI, ADM, BG, SYY, and Pepsi. So I'm going to try to balance those positions out. And as far as anything else, I'm somewhat neutral in here.
Let me just jump in right here. Hey, Mark, how's it going? You don't normally get both of us, but today I feel like we're more of a team here, sitting in here. And I don't know, we might have to change the name to Cockpit. We'll talk about that after. But
nobody was thinking that, man.
Really? Okay. But I did want to give a big shout out. See, this is why I'm here, Mark. This is why I'm here, and why you're here also, Mark, is because of ACI. And I talked about this on Monday. I have the chart up. I want to give you a big. Our Stream Deck isn't working, which is our animations, but I do have to give a big shout out to you because a lot of our viewers, as I can see on the chat here, making money with you. And that Albertsons call, you've been talking about this thing since 2021 dollars, and you talked about food inflation. You gave us the exact reason why you like this name, and then a big congratulations to you and any of the money that you're involved with, because that's up to $29. And before we, and again, big congratulations because it's all the way up here. I mean, that's a great move. Is this a spot now? I didn't join you, and that's my mistake, but now that you see this kind of a run up, and I know we just talked about it with Pfizer and other names like that, is this a spot now where maybe you take some off, or you don't take anything off until the story is over?
Well, what happens with me is if the percentage goes from, let's say, 1% to a 2 or 3% position, I take some off. I hate paying short-term capital gains, if you will.
Yep.
But if your process is day trading, yes, I'd take some off, and I would wait for another dip.
Thank you, Mark Roberts. Great call on ACI. And again, the chat is definitely recognizing that. So Mark Roberts and Sun Lake Strategies, thank you again, my friend. And hopefully with the restrictions being lifted, we'd love to see you in Toronto one day.
Yes, I'm getting ready.
Mark Roberts, thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, guys, few analyst moves to mention for you this morning. Here we go. That Fulcrum, remember FULC from yesterday, back on the move. It was up more than this, 10% in the pre-market when I looked at it. We'll talk about that. DHT, Upstart, and Splunk to the upside. There's Virgin, Morgan Stanley with a price target cut. WW to the downside after earnings, guys.
Yeah, I already had a Virgin Galactic trade here. And if you guys are watching the afternoon show, we sort of said Virgin Galactic might take out that 30 level. And of course, this morning, we sit down. It's like gapping down, double tapping 30. When it triple tapped it, I went short. It stalled out at 29.66. I got out at 67, and someone randomly in the chat was like, there's support at 66. I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely right. It double bottomed there and then broke back out, so had to take the rest out break even. It's going to be worth watching. No specific news other than the downgrade, but I wanted to make sure everybody saw what happened yesterday in Virgin Galactic. Now, there's a lot of charts that might actually look like this, especially in the tech space when you could look at a chart. I mean, Pinterest didn't look pretty good either. There were a lot of pullbacks to be had, but it was a steep decline here in Virgin Galactic. Some follow through, but even if it were to fill the gap in by popping through 30.50, I mean, you got to look back to this 32 level, which could also be a short for me. So even if it turns green, I probably would remain bearish until it broke 32.
Yeah, I remember it was Morgan Stanley here, came out. I mean, I have it on my chat here, $25 price target. They're just saying that we have to wait for it. So, I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. Come on, charts. Here that you're going to have to, as Folk starting to go here. I wrote down.
Folk?
I wrote down Folk that I have to go through 22, and I want to go long, but don't tell me that just broke.
Not now.
Yeah, it's going to break 22.
Yeah,
So
break.
we actually do like Folk here at 22. That's a double upgrade as well. So I'm going to get ready to go long on Folk going through 22 here, guys, as my charts appear to be. Okay, here we go. I like this 22 level from yesterday's high, guy, FULC. Let's go long if we can get it.
Yeah, sorry, just one thing to keep in mind. Like, it actually broke, 22 very, very briefly. So no, sorry, tested 22 like very, very briefly twice, once in the afternoon, and then again a little bit later on in the session. So this is like the third time it's going to be testing this 22 level.
Just checking on Palantir, guys. I just saw they got another patent for an HR software. I'll show you that in a second here. Yeah, it's up 1% here for PLTR. We're still kind of inside of yesterday's range. There we go. I'll show you the note over here if I can get to it. Signed a patent for a workflow application. So heads up on PLTR. Altimmune, ALT as well, also moving around here after COVID-19 results on a test were not as good as expected. If you are looking for the morning note, guys, here comes the link that you need to go to for our watch list. Absolutely free to you every single morning. Before we come on at 8:30, all you need is your email address to sign up for that. Coinbase going to be the first one on the list today, reporting better than expected results. EPS 345 versus 233. Trading volumes 462 billion. That's up from 335 billion. They did warn, though, that they are expecting Q3 volume to be slightly lower, guys.
Bumped right into resistance at Coinbase. Fulcrum.
I'm long here. We'll see.
It broke that 22, so when it got to like 22.15 and then 14 and then started slowing down. I think maybe if it gets to that 50 level, I'll trim a bit of that one. But Coinbase, I always like to look at that print in the aftermarket. Oh, you can't really see it here. Yeah, the print to the aftermarket, it got all the way up to 284. It's a big revenue number. What I actually liked about it is, and this will sound weird, but a lower percentage of the rev came from Bitcoin, specifically trading. So as they've added more issues, you've had that diversity has definitely picked up for them. So you get a good revenue number, and certainly it's not just Bitcoin that you're seeing the active trade on. But if you look at that print yesterday's action, I'm pulling up the 15-minute for a reason here, so you can see this. It's like 283.5. And that's basically been like this interesting little top that we had here, all day long, 282, 283.5. That's what has to get chewed through. You're kind of on the march to this 300 to 305 level that we talked about in yesterday's action. I think we talked about it yesterday anyways. 300 to 305. I think that's the next level up. Consolidation here makes a heck of a lot of sense. When we traded this a couple of days ago on the breakout, we talked about that 280, 250 being that target. That's where it got to. I got out a little bit too early there. So, I mean, if it does a crazy dip, yeah, I'd be interested in looking at the 65 to 70 range. Otherwise, you're just looking for a clean break through that maybe 83.5 or 285. Somewhere in that price range is where you're going to get that breakout. It might have to wait for the even dollar. And then I think there's pretty smooth sailing. Your tailwind, your headwind, I would say your headwind is going to be the fact that you did have some weakness in overall tech space, but all systems are go. I mean, the NASDAQ's up 0.3%, so Coinbase looks poised.
Yeah, and I just want to give it, I know some people are talking here, and I'm going to tweet it out right now, but what a move for Cardano overnight here. 180 now, guys, 180. Shout out to Shakib and a lot of you guys that bought, Shakib said he bought 3,000, I guess, coins. Down here at about $1. I was in that trade as well. Now you're up to 178. Cardano looking like a monster one more time. So congratulations, anybody that's in that one. Also, Matic starting to go today as well. But yeah, Coinbase is on my radar, and I'm already ready to locked and loaded here to go long on a two. Whoa, that's still Folk. Oh, we did get a print on Folk, man. We got some 34s there as that ripped up. So that's a good trade for me there on Folk. And here we go. So it was this 283 basically level here that we've just tipped out on all day. That, if it takes it out, I like it. We'll see about getting it back into the 270 range. I mean, Neil just did a bunch of work there. 345 versus 233. I feel like it should be higher than 3.5% today. They beat on that number, but they're still not making any coins. So we're going to have to wait to see. But as crypto goes, and that's why I brought up Cardano there. Cardano's listed on Coinbase as well. That as crypto starts to go and get better feels for that space, we've obviously seen where Coinbase has come from. And I mean, look, you're going to get the IPO hype all the way up here. But the point is we've come back down, and I think this is going to be a solid base. My best buy was like 231, and we talked about that. That went against me a bunch of times, down to 210 and change. So it's nice to see it finally starting to rally a little bit. I'm not going to get super excited until we're like at a 310 or so level there, but that is going to be Coinbase on that level. And then, yeah, really luck. I don't know if it's luck or not. I just had an order sitting out there at 34, so I was able to get that print. The high of the day on Folk 22.39. So we almost got top Wiccans there, but we'll wait to see. Hopefully that's not even close to top, and we'll see this stock much higher than $22. But Neil and I both in this one, and we'll wait to see if Coinbase takes out 283 for me.
All right, let's bring in, I want to talk about Fubo, but let's bring in Arun here quickly and get his take on the market overall, because this was definitely a positive move here for this number here. Arun, what are you looking at today?
Yeah, I'm looking at the number and I'm just like, why? Why are we moving up this fast? The number wasn't overly impressive. It was a slight beat. It was a CPI number that came out at 8:30, and this market took off. I think it's because it's fairly thin, right? We moved 7 points on 2,800 contracts, so you can tell by that the market's very thin. So expect some light trading. Except in the event that we get a catalyst, obviously that's going to change the game a little bit. In terms of how to play this, 44.40 is the top end level. We're sitting just a few points underneath it right now. Even if we break, same rules from yesterday apply. Even if you break a level, you want it to settle in and make sure that there's no sell side volume coming in after the break. Because in this market, when it's really thin and when it's slow, it's very easy for them to be false moves. So just be smarter about any breaks that you want to take. If you want to take that 44.40 break, if you get above it, just be careful that you actually make sure the selling volume is out of the way before you decide to go for the expansion trade, right? That's the level I've got up top. On the downside, I've got 43.90. That level's been in play for a while too now. So 44.40 up top, 43.90 below. If we get underneath 44.10, you have the option to potentially find a buy. Above 44.40, you are looking for the expansion. But again, you want to be patient with that expansion because it's pretty obvious at this point, there's very little volume on the future side of the market. And it's easy to move the market with very little volume when it's thin like that. So just be smarter. 2 levels, one above, 1 below, potential long down 44.10 area. At this point, around the 44.37, there's not a whole lot you can do. There's no real setup, even whether it's a break or even if there's a potential short. I can't see it just yet. Maybe if we get underneath 44.30, maybe the shorts might be back on the table. But for now, just stay out of the way and let's see if we can get through 44.40.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Let's move on here, guys. Fubo TV, 38-cent per share loss versus expectation of a 54-cent per share loss. And that compared to a loss of $2.82 per share in the same quarter last year. So much improved. I was just looking at the daily chart here, though. We're kind of into some significant levels, to say the least, here for Fubo.
Yeah, like 35 double, well, it's not a double top, but you have like two nice little humps here at about that 35 range. And we're not there yet. We're only at 32.50. A bit of a pullback just happened on Fubo. Oddly enough, Robinhood making moves as well, but the volume wasn't gigantic, but worth a watch because we haven't traded Robinhood the last couple of days. So rightfully pointed out by a lot of our viewers. But a big level is coming on Fubo at that 35 level. I probably would back off. And then when you get a print like this, on a stock which was already sort of making some breaks. You look at this nice consolidation break at 26, and then you get another consolidation higher, but not quite 10 points higher, but breaking out through that 29 after market. And you got to start thinking about, okay, well, is there going to be a pullback? Ideally, that would be at 35. That's why I want to target that level. I think if it has no legs to that range, I'm probably going to be looking to short Fubo, but you got to be very careful with this stock, guys. It can move a heck of a lot. I did write down on Fubo the 32.50 to 32.75. Now, this is before we had this spike up. I was looking for a potential rollover trade there, but once a level like that is broken, I tend not to look for it at 9.30 as a rollover trade. So this was more when it was holding out below some of these prices and looking for it to fade. It's already broken through. So I'll be looking back to that 35 level to see if it has some juice there. If it dips, 30 is probably worth a bit of a defend here, but it's more about the daily chart and the momentum and a big time level coming through at 35. So I'll be in front of it.
Yeah, I'm just writing out a email or a tweet right now, and I'll show it to you guys. Look at Folk. I mean, Neil and I have this one. It's now up nicely. There's through $22 there. And I just want to say again, it's going to be sticky note reign supreme here. Actually, I'll show that to you after. It's on the sticky note, that 22 level. We talked about that FULC there. It hits the 22.90 there, almost $23. So that's a nice little one there. I said when we made that top wick, hopefully we make some more. And it looks like we'll be able to at some point. But Fubo, so going over to the sticky note one more time here. Fubo's on the sticky note. You guys can see it's number 2 here. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, so we'll figure that out after a good look for that one. But Fubo today, so up nicely, but now fading back in. I was looking at levels like if we take out that 34, which is the past high, and if you go back over here, you can see this 34 level. That's probably going to be a good little short area for us if you did like the short. I just think that with revenues a little bit better there, and then what I marked down here was, oh yeah, higher subscribers there on Fubo. So I mean, that's all that you really need, right? We've seen Snapchat, Twitter, I know that's social media, but you know, when you can increase your daily average users, I think that's a good thing. They'll figure out the revenue model at some point. So for me, I'm a buyer into these dips for sure. I already have bids set up into the 31, 32 area. Sorry, lower than that, 32 area, and then into 31. So let's see if we can get Fubo on any dips. I prefer that much, much more than taking this break because it's already resisted a couple times up here. Resisted yesterday, 32.70, that's where we are now. And then we resisted that 34, 35 top on the daily chart. So I do like Fubo TV today, and I'll take it on a break through 34, but I just gotta wait for that as I'm not sure if that's gonna come through today. So I'll buy dips first, and then we'll work on the next part after.
All right, another one looking very positive so far this morning. Upstart, recent addition, in fact, going back to the middle of last year, up nicely, more than 20% here in the pre-market. Monster numbers in their earnings report. That being said, this is a very thinly traded stock with a monster range. If you go back to where we were yesterday, 136. We're at 166.5 currently, up 22%, guys.
I'm glad you said it, Brennan. You want to tread at least relatively lightly when it comes to don't just look at the price of a stock and then think, okay, yeah, this is $165. You know, I can trade that for 2.5 times as many shares as I would trade Moderna. I'm just throwing a name out there. Or, you know, I'm trading it the same way I would trade an Apple, which not necessarily similarly priced, but pretty close. It's got, right now, it's only got like a 60 or 70 cent spread, but it can open up. And this stock was basically barcoding at 112 before. It's up 50% from there. If this gets to, it's like a head and shoulders thing, only if it holds 170, call it like 170 to 172. I think that's your possible resistance, and then 190. But every single level, there's no hard stops there. Like if you're taking a rollover at 170, you're not wrong till 175. If you're looking to buy a dip and you're buying into like a 150, which makes sense to me here, like I think maybe there'd be a spot at 158 or to 160. Like you're giving it an extra couple of dollars in that kind of a range, guys. So it is getting to a very interesting level, this 170 to 171. I think it's a decent shot to break out, and then that 180 becomes the next target to the upside. But up 22% with this spread, I won't touch it in the pre-market, that's for sure. Like any breaks or any rollovers, that has to come when volume pops into this thing because the spread's all over the damn place. And now 23.30, yeah, so I mean, Fulcrum continues to go here, so it is about like $1.25 in the money. And I did get into that CWBR, it's on the watch list. I decided not to wait for the 2 break. I shorted the consolidation, but that's the same gap up, consolidate lower type of play. So you guys know that setup.
So we're still in, yeah, I was going to say Folk, yeah, because it's still getting upside, man. There's that 22 break off the sticky note, and then it's bang. We take first, why we take 40 cents, I don't know, but we did. And then now right to the upside, $1.40 there on that win. So 23.37, we just got some out on. So, hey, we're already starting our day off right here, and it's going to be a good one. I can already feel it. I didn't trade it yesterday, which apparently was a good thing. It was a tough one. And today, now, we'll just watch this continue to run. And then, you know, Falk, I guess it wasn't super tough. I know Neil was battling it yesterday. It had some.
I mean, the dumbest trade you've ever seen.
Yeah, that's right. It was the.
I was $1,
right?
I was $1.50 in the money on a short on Folk and took off like 25% of it because I was being greedy and thinking the stock owed me something.
Okay, well that's not. I mean, a win is a win. But here we go. Still ripping to the upside. So no ideas, but I'm out of 2/3 of that trade now. So we'll hold the last third. Just this is what we do. It's not a big heavy position, so it's not like we're going to be be driving around in Brendan's Lambo or anything anytime soon, but we will for now hold on to this Folk and see where we go. I like this winner.
Just having a look at space, guys. Big ugly reversal candle. We'll talk about space here. We're back above 30, which kind of got my attention there on a bit of a volume spike. But 4% to the downside for space after Morgan Stanley cut its rating to equal from overweight and put a $25, about there, $25 price target on space, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we briefly talked about this. It broke the 30.
Hit some animation.
I know. It's like, well, you can hit the buttons just to like scratch the itch. Then nothing will happen.
I can hit your buttons.
Well, there's always buttons to be pressed.
We'll get that figured out for you.
Anyways,
guys.
we'll get it figured out.
Cool space one. That's why I bring it.
This is weird, Virgin Galactic. 1-2 times, third time it broke 30 level, and then it breaks back to the upside, and then 1-2 now, well, a couple of times here, it's testing 30 again. So, I'll probably wait until we get a chance. It's a trap. That's right. Yeah, maybe Virgin Galactic is a trap to the short side the second time through 30 here, but it's kind of setting up the same way. There's a bigger bid by a very small amount here. Like I said, if it goes to the upside, I'd probably do a fade trade, but it gets above 32. I mean, I wouldn't be fighting it too hard here. So Virgin Galactic, I guess that 30 break is back on the radar. I can't remember the last time I've ever actually seen this situation where I took a pre-market short, got 2/3 of it out, got out when it broke back to the upside, and then I'm looking at the exact same break for 930. So it's a kind of a weird one here. Obviously, there's some buying down there in that mid-60s range that bought it the first time. Below that, Virgin Galactic, like we've been saying, like you have this recent low at like 27, call it 27.75, and then there's air till about those low 20s, which is what we've sort of been getting at when it comes to being patient with them, because they have a long window before they're going to have more of their flights, and they pushed back the date, which kind of they slipped it in there in the call that they're actually pushing back their target for their first actual real commercial flight that isn't more of a publicity stunt, I should say.
You know what I thought? So I wrote down here on the
Where'd
20.
that come from?
What happened?
You're the hot dog cannon. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I want to give a shout out to Dan Duval messaging me, telling me that I don't look so bad here. What's up? Did you see Dan Duval in the chat? Messaging me about my look here. I think it looks better now. I think they might have been right about the chair. How is that even possible? But they're right. Okay, so I'm not so thrown up. Yeah, it's still a little bit blown up, but I'm not thrown off anymore. Okay, 29.50 right now, guys. I can't show the sticky note, but that's the level that we like. Obviously, it's the day's low, so we'll take that on space. Look, it's not good when you get the price target cut for sure, but we saw that yesterday with Fisker. We can see where that is today. Hopefully that's a little bit higher. Maybe not. That just got a big boost there yesterday. Yeah, no, we're not firing the cannons off. That's our team over there, so that's good. Thank you for doing that. Though you guys will have to just try to keep our fans amused for now, or our viewers amused. I guess, are they fans? I don't know. Viewers amused with what's happening. But I don't mind that 29.50. That Folk started to go up there a little bit more, bounced a little bit, and then there was one other name. Oh yeah, I want to talk about MG in Toronto. So that's Magna. It's MGA. Over and Canadian Investor. We talk sometimes about Canadian names. I don't think we talk enough about them. But Magna right here, I bought this thing. So when they bought that veneer, they tried to, and then Oracle, I guess, swooped in, or one of them, Oracle or somebody, swooped in there and put a better bid on VNE. But, when they dipped down into this 101, 102 area, I did buy. So someone asked me there, and I did shout it out on Twitter that we did buy some Magna. So again, I mentioned that that's about the EV space. It's about products and parts and supply. So Magna, I'm long there. They have a decent dividend, and now it's back up to 108. I like Magna for a long-term play there. Unlike Folk or Space or anything like that, this one you just sort of hold in your portfolio, and it's more of a value play rather than a growth play like those other names. So those of you that are looking for some investment ideas, that's there. And then someone asked me my favorite holding in my long-term account is Microsoft. So that's easy for me. Made a lot of money on that, Microsoft or Apple. But my largest holding is Google, which that might be my favorite as well. So I'm going to say my favorite long-term holding is the NASDAQ. So as it seems like that's been working so far.
I tend to agree.
WW International. I always want to call it Weight Watchers. They came out with a big miss on their latest quarterly report. WW getting absolutely punished this morning for that 26%. Look at this thing right now as we speak, trying to make a new session low anyways. 48 cent per share for the quarter versus 65 cent per share estimates, guys. So missing on that front. Revenue is to the downside forecast to the downside as well. This is ugly.
Yeah, ugly is the right word. I mean, 25 is going to stand out. I don't know if we're going to get it. It actually seemed like we are going to get that rollover type of idea off of the 25 level. Just so you can see what happened in the aftermarket, that's 25 and a quarter. The current pre-market high is 25. It got bought up on very, very ridiculously light volume. It's only traded like 300,000 shares as it is. So that's not a heck of a lot. If you break lower than this, which it seems like it's destined to do at this point, you've got lows at 22.5, and then you got another bottom here at 20.5. So that's kind of nice and orderly. And we're staring the face of 23.5. So you got $1 to the next level of the downside, clean $3 to that bottom at 20.50, and then 23.50 sits at the current low of the day. I still like the idea. I mean, even though it doesn't look like we're going to get it here, I like the idea of shorting off that 25 level. I think if it breaks 25, I've been known to fight these things when it's a massive decline here. I've been known to fight these things too hard to the short side. So if it breaks 25, I'd probably get out of it, if not, at least consider going into the long. But first things first, it has a 23.50 low. It's got levels at 22.5, 20.50, and then 25 is going to stand out for a nice resistance point. So I'll short off of either one of those two levels, whether it's a breakdown or a pop at 9:30, which is only 14 minutes away.
Oh, man, yeah. So I looked at Weight Watch. I was just reading some of the comments. Thank you, guys. Some say the lighting's better. People asking about the back. So we're sitting on a trading floor here at Day Trade the World in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And just right now, it's completely empty. You know, we hire, normally there's about 20. Yeah, it's completely empty. I did want to say also, after the show, yeah, there it is. Yeah, no, Neil, that's pretty completely empty right there. After the show, what up, guys, wherever you are, what up? There it is, Prad's getting ready. And that's what I want to talk about there with that. So after our show at 11 o'clock, make sure you stay tuned for Memes and Movers with Prad and Miss V. So Trader Prad killed it yesterday for an hour. He's going to be back on for about an hour again today, or we'll see how it goes. So that's going to be coming up soon after, or right after our show. Memes and Movers with Trader Prad and Miss V, and what it's going to do is just allow the chat to keep going. It's a little more flow, it's a little more back and forth. It's more looking at the chat and talking and having some fun time. So let us know what you think of that show as well. Tweet at us if you like that show, but we like it. And honestly, I consider us all like one big family, and that's the one thing that Valeria mentioned to me afterwards is about how the chat was just so nice to them all. So thank you. You're so nice to Miss V, and Miss V working really hard right beside me now. Now I can actually get really close. Yeah, we can fist bump now. Miss V, there it is. Let's do it again. They have it on camera now. There it is. So there's the fist bump there for Miss V. So she's crushing it. Thank you to Brennan, Miss V, Neil, everybody for working on the watch list as well. But Weight Watchers here, let's just go back to that quickly. I thought maybe this 26 here, as you could see, bottom, this 26 level. I think you can get taken out, man. I mean, it's 10% short. I looked that up. Maybe you can confirm that. I mean, Brendan's super busy, but on Trade Ideas, thank you, Trade Ideas, for the help on that. $26 there. I don't mind it for a break, so we could see if that does come into play. We did bounce around 26 yesterday. I mean, the short is going to be the easy play. They were horrible. It was a very, very bad beat there and everything, but 26 to the long side right now, Weight Watchers. I actually think that there could be a reversal long there. So that is good, guys. Let's get ready to rock and roll with Weight Watchers. There's only 13 minutes left now, and I've got a few already ready to go. Fubo, Folk, Space, Coinbase. So there's a lot here that we're looking at.
Yeah, more to get through as well. Let's talk about the airlines. We mentioned it briefly with Mark Roberts, if you joined us early on this morning. Southwest coming out this morning talking about lower expectations for their third quarter because of the Delta variant of COVID-19, saying that their cancellations for that period are increasing. So not a heck of a lot of volume here, specifically on Southwest, guys, but down 2%, $50 even coming to play.
Yeah, look, Southwest has actually been a, what's the word like a whippy, like, I don't know. It's a whippy stock the last couple of sessions. And you can kind of see this is not very orderly on a chart. And sometimes if things don't stand out to you and look orderly on the charts, you might want to step away from it. You can see this like really, really wide channel that it's put in at least the last week or so, where you have essentially like, it's actually really not that bad. If you look at these bottoms here, you could probably draw a nice little trend line, but that's going to take you right into this this 50, maybe getting tested as immediate support. Because if we break this, that'll be taking out 50 at the open, like likely right around here. Oh, maybe in the early morning, and then breaking this 49.50 area. And if you extend that even further, like you start to say, well 52 is going to obviously be a resistance point. So I tend to think that if I don't see anything obvious on the chart, if Southwest, looking at this channel, gets up to 52 today, that's got to be a short, right? With that headline and with a level like that, at least the short-term channel that it has, and then you have recently when it looked like it was a little more orderly, you had a 52 quarter sitting back here. So that's the only way I can read this, other than to say, think long-term. For stocks like this that might not be day trades, as Mark said, this is his pick, and I think if you get a lot of weakness, sometimes you have to know where you want to jump into it. I think it could break this channel to the downside today, but that's not really true until we open up, reclaim this 50 level to the downside, and then maybe break a 49.50. That's a lot to happen, and it's done 200,000 shares pre-market, which that's a pittance for a $50 stock.
Yeah, I wanted to look at CCL as well. I just think that it's the same rhetoric back and forth here. So I may get into Southwest. If Mark likes it and it's now below where he's long, I think it's a good opportunity. But you can see here, CCL, I just think that we don't really come close to yesterday's highs, which we may. We're really close right now, $24, but that's going to be a short for me into that $24 area. We had a big run on CCL up to 30, 31, and now you're just fading back in. So the Delta variant is obviously serious. Less and less people, I guess. I don't know if people are lining up to get shots or not. I don't know what's going to happen. There's a third booster apparently coming through. So we'll wait to see who takes that, who qualifies and whatnot. But for me, until that gets all figured out, I could really just see that Carnival and other, cruise lines and travel start to get the boot for some of their restrictions. They may get more restrictions put on them, which would hurt the industry, obviously. So I'm going to be shorting Carnival into 24. Look, it breaks 24, I'm gone on the daily chart there. So it breaks, on the minute chart. It breaks 24, we're gone. But that's CCL. Brendan over at the big screen.
All right, guys, a few little ones of note. We were just noting that Trader Prad's like a UFC fighter before he goes out to the octagon with the headphones on, getting all jacked up before, there he is, before the session. So stick around 11 o'clock, guys. Memes and movers with Trader Prad and Miss V. MOGO, one on the list this morning. A little wireless company, 15% now, was higher early on. This is an earnings beat as well. There was a huge volume spike at 8 o'clock. A lot of dark prints included in that. But worth noting, it came just in front of 750. So a heads up, if we do get anywhere close to back to 750, watch 7 even as well. Just failed at 7 even, but kind of grinding to the downside, guys, for MOGO.
And another one that's on our watch list, I want to just call it Crowbar, but I can't because it's Cobar. It's Crowbar. Crowbar is just so much more fun to say. So this Cobar, whatever, is gap up. You can just be able to see here. It's Nash. I can't. Hepatitis. I don't know. I'm not even going to pronounce that one for you guys. But anytime you see, and this is what the stock did before, literally nothing, but as low volume as you can get, and then a post-market boom when they did have that positive study. And it's going to gap up, consolidate lower, retest highs. Now, it double tapped the high, and I didn't really hang on to this. Double tapped the high, then broke 215. I'm like, usually I wait for a consolidation. It then broke and then tried to consolidate here at 2. I decided to get in before 2, so we got like a 202.25 is a weird price because I got some midpoints there. And I'm kind of sitting on the bid here in front of this 190 level, and then if that were to break, 190 is also the top that it got into the aftermarket, you're looking to slide back into 165, 170, but not letting this one go through the high of the day. That's usually going to be the way that we do these things around here. And Folk, someone asked, is it safe to get into Folk now? Well, I wanted to say you're Falcon crazy. No, I'm just kidding. I can't really say you're crazy. It's up 25%, but if you keep in mind what it did yesterday, I would not be shocked if this stock halts at the open, right? Like this was ridiculous in the morning in yesterday's action, and I think there was only the one halt, but I wouldn't be surprised if it halted on the way up. So a 24 break. If you get it at 9:30, it might lead into a halt trade. I might have a tighter stop if I was taking that one, as opposed to taking the pre-market break where you're running into a potential breakout at 24. So if it dips, you want to see that same 22 hold for obvious reasons, and then below there, I'm looking at 20 as the next level of support after that 22 break. So you don't really want to hang on too deep if 22 gets taken out.
Guys, hit some kind of celebration here because crypto is going nuts right now. 183 right here, as you guys can see for Cardano. So that's starting to blast right now. It just took out 180. Really, really glad we re-upped some of our positions there on ADA, man. I mean, that's just what a ripper from one. I mean, and again, congratulations to anybody that was long this name for a while here with me. Back to $1. We went a couple times and we bought it. This is my largest crypto holding by far now that it's gone up like this. And then my second largest, and the problem is I did sell some Bitcoin to buy Cardano, so you give up a little bit of upside against one or the other, but here we go, 32.50 right now, Ethereum ripping as well. Here, if you look at the 1 minute chart, starting to go upside there, but again, let's check out a daily. We are right now, oops, move this back. We are right now, to zoom in a little bit here. Beautiful again, they all look the same here off some bottoms. So Cardano was $1, Ethereum appears to be 1,700. And guess what, guys? This was July 19th, sorry. So it's less than a month and you've almost got 100% return. So 100% return on your investment in Ether. So a great little bust there for that stock, or I guess at this point we can call it stock. I mean, it's easy to invest in, although it's not a stock. Asset class, yeah. Okay, someone wanted some size or some levels here on Fubo. We only have 5 minutes to go, so let's do that quickly. I am going to take I was initially going to wait for 34. I think that's what I have on my sticky note, but I don't mind this 33.50 as that's been holding. So a break of 33.50 and we're gone and we're taking it long. And then also I'm not going to hold it back below 31. So I do have some bids in here all the way to the downside just to see. And then if we can hold 31, you see there's a lot of consolidation there. So a hold of 31 is what I'm looking for Fubo. But I will take that 33.50 break. And again, we'll get the stream deck. I think that's going to be like the #1 thing that we work on here because we are definitely missing that. I know Ms. V said we're missing that. Yeah, $88 to $2 for sure today, I think, anyways. Just broke. I mean, that's unbelievable there. I don't even want to take any off, that's for sure. And Mark talked about paying the tax man. Now they're coming for you guys, crypto. Watch
that's
out.
That's the other thing. They were going to lighten the language on that tax discussion, at least when it comes to targeting miners, stakers, and whatnot. And it doesn't look like that might not get through. So there's still going to be some lobbying and jockeying going on. We got a question about SoFi. So the only thing I will say here is just pulling up the 15-minute chart. If you can't see what it's sort of primed in the 1730 area to call it 1730 to 1735 for a bit of a break. The only cautionary tale I would have is it's already sort of coming up going into their print. But it is it's set up pretty nicely. It's not on my list. The volume isn't really there. And there's actually a random 70,000 ARCA just sitting on the offer here. And I just got back into Virgin Galactic. So I said it's kind of rare that this happens. But 30 got taken out again, and then we've basically been barcoding off that 30 level. And then I just got back in when it retook 30 here. So we'll see what happens on Virgin Galactic. My first instinct, of course, is to be short. This is the second time I'm shorting at that 30 level, this time at 29.98. And Fulcrum has run into a bit of resistance at that 24 level as well.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm not selling that Fulcrum all day. I don't care. I mean, I'll lose on it at this point. I'm tired of it. Rocket earnings I'm just tired of getting out and then watching a stock go up $10. But hey, a win is a win. We can't complain, Mr. Wicken.
Just want to mention, guys, real quick before we get to the open, couple minutes to go here, this Joby Aviation, a SPAC conversion that closed after market yesterday, beginning trading on the NYSE today. JOBY is the stock. These air taxis, I guess you can call them, set to begin flying apparently 2024 in New York City. They're saying that you can go from Manhattan to LaGuardia for the same price as an Uber in one of those, guys. So JOBY today. Okay,
yeah, we will look at that in a minute, but okay, we have a problem because we got long Coinbase, and then because it was in the pre-market, of course, the price I got. So it's $1 spread right now, and I paid up about $1 for it. So I'm long at 283.50. We wanted it was literally the next stock to talk about. We wanted a 283 break there. And I was just looking at my order, and I changed it to 283.50. Like 283 break, I wanted to pay up to 283.50. I didn't want to miss it on open, and I thought maybe I would pay like 20 cents of a spread. But right now you can see this is now against me $2. So we'll be averaging into this one. I still like it. That was a big bump up there. So we will still take that with a minute and a half left. I'm not worried about it. Whether or not I pay that price now or I pay it off open, it's not going to matter to me. But looking at 279, 276, maybe a spot there in case we're wrong. But I think with crypto pumping right now, I'm not super worried about it. 275, I don't know if I'll hold it for that long, but 275 would be a good bottom there. We'll find out how it moves off the open, but here we go, right back to 283. So we'll see where it goes now. That is going to be Coinbase, but yeah, we're loaded and we're in it, and we'll try to buy some dips now. We don't have much of a choice. A break here of maybe 278, and we'll rethink our long at that point. Because
don't rethink it. I'm on the bid below. I'm on the bid in front of that 3/4 mark. We got a question about Lightning E-Motors, and that's the only time I will say Lightning E-Motors, except for that second time there. ZEV is what I like to call it. Remember yesterday at 12:10 or so, 12:10 was a big level. There was dark pools selling in front of it. So I'm going to be watching that one. I think it's a bit of a rollover play today, and I'm looking for the sell side of the trade, especially if it tests that 12 area. So I'll be all over that one. Miss V, I think, is on the bell. Yes, Miss V is on the bell. Of course, she'll be back after for morning or memes and movers with Bradley. But let's get this countdown going. It is hump day.
Right on time.
Let's get going. 7, 6, 5. Let's go Virgin Galactic to the downside, although I like you. 2 and 1. Ring it, Miss V.
And we popping right now. So let's see where we go from here, man. Nice win already, guys.
Let's go.
There we go. Bang! We're in the building with Coinbase. Hell yeah! F you. We take that long, and now look where it is, man. 288 for Coinbase, man. $5 in the money. Still ripping. Did I say $5? How about $6 in the money on Coinbase? How about $2 in the money on Folk as well? So yeah, baby, we're already more than we made yesterday. Let's get this party started, right?
Folk might, I said it might halt, but it just got to 25 even and turn around there. So it looked like it was about to make a move there. Well, a secondary move or a third move. I don't even know what you want to call it, guys. Folk's now sitting at 24.50. There is a big offer that was sitting there at dark offer, I want to say, sitting there at 25 even, trying to turn the stock around, and then it just snapped back. I'm hanging on to this because as much as the bid evaporated, it still didn't really slow down. Like the volume is still off the charts here, guys. So it feels like it's still bullish. Virgin Galactic is right at that 30 mark, so not a heck of a lot happening there. And of course, Weight Watchers, if you can guess which way that one went, I don't know. Of course it pops up, right? Like Weight Watchers looking weak, it pops up, but it didn't break that 25. So we said short in front of 25. I got it here at 24.65, now coming right back into the downside. So Weight Watchers, it did the 930 roll as I'm sitting here. It's not a dark pool prints going off. Like just printed a bunch of dark prints at 24.20. I'll try to cover some at that quarter.
Yeah, we're trying to cheer on some folk here as well. But there we go, man. We are out of Coinbase. Bang, 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 bang. So the trade of the day, I think, has been initialized right here. We did pick up a nice dip as well. 280, you can see here on the 1 minute chart, this is why it was even a bigger trade, man. We got a 282.05 print there as well on that name. And then you're still in folk, Neil?
It's testing 25 again. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah, so we're both still in this. It's hard for us to see our positions here, but we are both still in 25 and change right now on folk. So this is a $2 winner. Fubo, we talked about taking out, so this is not a big position. We do more want the average into the long side, so we'll wait to see if Fubo can pick out the long, as we did take out the high there on Fubo. So that's not a good one, but man, we're on one here with Coinbase. That was a great trade, man. I'm loving that. Everything working out pretty nice for us so far today, guys.
Yeah, I just took 40. Now going to take hopefully 70 pennies. Yeah, we go 70 cents on Weight Watchers there, shorting into that 25 level that we talked about. And then Virgin Galactic was the other one that we took to the south side. For the second time, we took 30 the first time. The second time is definitely a charm. It's broken that 65 buyer. I just covered some sitting here in front of that 50 level, so we'll let Virgin Galactic slide, or I don't have a pun for, I should have a pun for this, but I don't like crashing ones when it's actual company that flies things. So let's see if it breaks 29.50 and we can hang on. There wasn't a heck of a lot till we get to 27.50 on the downside. Virgin once again falling. Oh, Folk did break 25, and then it just sort of pulled back in there. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Fail break at 25. I probably should have covered there at 24.75. Too busy celebrating Weight Watchers and Virgin Galactic, but that probably was worth it for an out at 24.75. If it pops again into that range, pop. I'm covering between 50 and 75 if I get a chance, and then looking for a long break or maybe a dip buy off 23.
Yeah, so we just did the same thing here on Fubo TV. We get our dip buy at 32. It doesn't mean it's going to be right, but now we have a better average price, at least something that we can work with a little bit here. 32.65. So I do want to take some out on a little bit of a pop if we can, so we can at least be right on that 32 bid. But right now it's not great. Virgin Galactic on the downside there. We'll put a bid and we'll get out. So there it is. Where's my tick? Bang again on that one, man. We are just on one today, man. Folk did resist that 25, but here goes Virgin Galactic to the downside, 29.50. If you're joining us, Sticky Note Nation reigns supreme today, man. Coinbase, good outs, busting near that 290. I'll go long through 290 if it does take that out. So we'll watch out for Coinbase here at 290. But what a great day today so far, guys.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too far away from some of the other names here. Obviously, we're going pretty nicely, but that Mogo pops into 7 even and turns on a dime. So that's 7, big level. You can kind of see. So you go to if you go to the daily chart here, you can kind of see that 7 was going to be an interesting pivot point. It's rejected that once. If it gives a second shot at that 7 even price on Mogo, dual listed by the way, you can trade that in Canada if you want to for some reason. But this one hanging out, I think 7 is going to be that key level. If we can catch it, I'll go for that second time through. Is that Brennan?
All right, early mover guys, Orphazyme popping back up. This one had a big day yesterday. Remember, 10.5% here so far. Big volume came in at day highs there, 590. It looks like it's rejecting though. Heads up, ORPH.
I'd hit a button for Virgin Galactic, but obviously we don't have them. It just bounced off 29 even. 27.50, I think, like we said, was going to be that next level of support. Whether it gets there, who knows? But 30 was good once, 30 was good twice. Folk is still trying to make some moves here. I just got, like I said, I was going to get out. Once I saw the rejection of a 25 break, I then said I would cover 24.5, so I'm out at 24.5 here. Thank you, Miss V, for the reload. Your timing is absolutely perfect. And then it comes right back in, and I wanted a 23 dip. So if it bounces off 23, I'll try to take a reload at this one for the long side of the trade, which has already been fantastic on Fulcrum. What a crazy stock that's been for 2 days in a row.
Yeah, it is. What's up to our friend Vikram as well, as that reminds me of him. Okay, down to the...
That's random. I love it, though.
Yeah, Fulcrum, Vikram.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like when we're trading Neo, I say Neo sometimes. So
I always think you guys are talking. We can't sip coffee at the same time. I always think these guys are talking about me. I'm like, I hear Neo. What's going on in Neo? And
I know,
like,
that's
what?
why I'm saying it. Yeah. So shout out to our friend there.
Speaking of
Vikram, what's up? Okay, Fubo. Sorry, here we're on Virgin Galactic to the downside. Nice little short there. Kicked in, man. 29.50. Go. We should have maybe covered a little bit more. We just covered some at 29.15. I don't know why. I had a bid down there. I mean, that must have not happened. I do have a bid at 84 on the downside, so let's see if we can grab that. It's over to Brendan at the big screen.
Hopefully, gamers out there will make more sense of this than I can. But Spin Masters, guys, joining the Roblox metaverse. That just came out. So RBLX, a nice little pop there, 1.8%. I am not familiar with Spin Masters. Are you?
Not really.
I thought it was like a cycle place, like Soul Cycle.
Is it? Okay. I mean, I'm not
I don't think it is at all.
I'm actually not familiar with it, but we just said randomly Neo. By the way, Neo just made a move, man. Like right at the open, 44 to 45. I'm pulling up the chart here so you can see what this 45 level was yesterday. So that's a big one here on NIO, not me, Neo. That's trying to get to, forget about the daily chart, who cares, but that 45 level does stand out. It's got plenty of room here, but it just failed. It got 45 to 45.12, just pulled back in. You want to see if it can hold out at like the 75 range, somewhere in this little cluster here, which had been previous support. So Neo on the move, not random. I mean, we were just talking about it. For no reason, and then all of a sudden it came into play. Fulcrum is right back towards that 23 level. I wanted to see it bounce first. Come on, why is this not flipping? There we go. I wanted to see it bounce first. I'll zoom back in so we can see. Now that it's held a bit of a bid, I'll see if I can catch that reload off of this 23 level. So the breakout was at 22, but this support here has been all over the place at 23 even. I'll give it like 50 to 70 pennies here after it gave you a bigger win than that. And then if we can scalp that into 24 and then 24.5 one more time, be perfectly happy with that trade. The high of the day is coming up in that CWBR. Crowbar. I'm calling it crowbar because I'll just mess it up every single time. I'm not letting 220 go. If 220 goes, I'm out of this trade altogether. It looks like it's taking out the top. That could be the first losing trade of the day. Although Fulcrum long the second time could also be a loser. We'll see. If 23 holds up, I think we're golden. And this stock, trade with caution. At any moment, it can halt on you. We've seen it happen before. I'm surprised it actually didn't halt at the open this time.
Yeah, there's been lots of craziness. I mean, look at this here today as well. Space, hopefully we'll get that fill. Look at Coinbase, man. Goes all the way up to 290. I mean, we got out at 288.30 was our best out. That's an $8 winner there. So thank you, Coinbase, for getting me out there. And we didn't have too much pain on that trade at all. Actually, it's my number one trade by far. So that looks like it's going to be a good one there for Coinbase. So good trade there. People asking about SoFi. It's not doing too much yet. We'll look back here. Folk, yeah, good trading early, but then it's bounced off that 25 level. So I'm still going to hold it and see if we can get anything else going. Space, I'm still waiting for that the 28. What did I say? 28.84 is where my bid is. So hopefully that can come through sooner rather than later, and we'll be able to catch a winner on this one. I'm hoping for, anyways. That's going to be Space. 10 more cents down. We have a nice little win there. What's up, Brendan?
Norton LifeLock, guys. They announced this morning, looks like just after 9 o'clock, they're going to buy UK cyber firm Avast for $8 billion. NLock up nicely on that.
Nice. Norton was making moves with McAfee the other day as well. We got that dip by, look, I waited for it to bounce on Fulcrum at 23.25. So I end up paying to 46, but able to scalp some out right here in front of 24. You look at this cluster. It's sort of obvious. It sits there 23 up to that 24 range. So you scalp inside of it there. I'm going to hang on because as long as 23 holds, I think it has a chance to continue to that upside, maybe retake 25, but 23 getting tested. Wow. It just had one, you saw that live, like one crazy wick down. It held the 23 bid. I mean, if it sustains this move, I can't see any way that it's not headed back to 25. But that was a big seller that just came on Fulcrum. Hopefully it holds up.
Yeah, hopefully it does. And right now we got a nice little FUBU break as well, guys. I mean, this is exactly how we talked about the trade. And we talked about it getting longer down here, man, 31.50. And then now it's just payday for Fubo right now, guys. Yes, sir. Right here, good longs, man. That's how you can see the average price is fine because, you know, this was not that many shares, and these were the real plays that we wanted. We talked about Fubo in the pre-market, and again, I've changed up my style and just trying to stick with specific names here, and we wanted this dip into here. We got it, man, and we loaded up down there on Fubo with a nice bid that we took there. So hopefully you guys planted some orders down. That's a 31.50 right there. So nice little win. I mean, it's only a win when you capture it. So hopefully that can keep going to the upside. There you go. Thank you, guys. 75 cents, 80 cents now in the money. Folk, $1 in the money, and Space 75 cents because bang, we got 75 cents on that one as well on Space. So bang, bang, bang. Hey, guess what today, guys? Coin. Yeah, let's go. Hit that alert, guys. Coin, winner, winner. Fubo, winner. Folk, winner. Space, winner. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for 4 in baseball. That's not called anything, is it? When you hit 4 home runs? That's not a sombrero, no.
Sombreros if you strike out
that's
4
the opposite
times.
way.
You don't want the golden sombrero.
No.
I didn't make top wick on CBR, but we did stick to our plan to get out on a top break, and this is what happened. Short, we got some at 95s. We then short in front of 20s. 20 breaks, and it just rejects about as hard as you could possibly reject the level. Look at it snap back down to 2 even. This is going to scream short for me for the rest of the day after a failed break like that, guys. So a big one there. Space is now at 28.50, so it's $1.50 in the money. 27.50 was the next support I had, so I kind of feel like I'm holding to there. But that Folk, the reload, the first trade was obviously fantastic, be able to get 24.50 out, but we scalp half out here for 40 cents, and then we lose that on the back end. So flat trade the second time through in Fulcrum. 22 is going to stand out on any deeper of a pullback.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing pretty nice right now, guys. The market is starting to go back down a little bit. Maybe we can get another name. There goes Fubo, man. Yes, sir. 32.50 now. I don't know what Trader Prad's celebrating over there. Maybe he'll tell me in a second. But Fubo, beautiful trade there. Brendan, kill him.
I can tell you. It is Coinbase, guys. Big bounce off 280 there. Huge volume came in at 280, so straight back to 288 for Coinbase.
I took that $8 winner there, Prad, so slow down. Trader Prad killing it with Coinbase. Good level there at 280. We completely missed that level. What can we do? We should have had a bid lower, but we're too busy ho-humming this right now with Fubo TV. Oh, I put an offer. I thought I got filled there, 32.65. So right now we'll maybe get another offer here in as it's got a nice move back up, man. This is $1 in the money now on Fubo. So let's take a little bit more out here. I thought I got that 32.65 print, but I guess I did not, literally on the way back down. So damn it, gave up some money there, missing that one on the way back in.
Yeah, I'm going to be reloading. Watch out for Weight Watchers here. It's going to come right back up to that 25, so we did take the winner on it initially. I'm watching Coinbase 290 obviously here, guys, as well, but trying to get a reload on Weight Watchers. If 25 breaks, that's a reversal on that stock. It's not a massive gap to be filled there, obviously, but Coinbase 290 is too juicy of a level. It's 290 on a dime. Like, it's not 289.99. 290 was the actual top there. So if anytime I get a chance to fade off a level like that, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I can tell you Virgin Galactic bounced at 28.50. I'm not terribly concerned with it. If it breaks 28.50, however, and trades a quarter down, I will put a trail on that bad boy. I'm not going to let too much of a gift horse look too much of a gift horse in the mouth on Virgin Galactic. It's been a great one, but it's like twice we've shorted the 30 level. At some point, I have to lock in the entirety of the profit.
Yep, for sure. So I'm just going to check back in here. Ethereum just not really doing too much. I was trying to look at ETHE there. Shout out to Jeff Mendel there. Our ADA is 183, so that's rocking and rolling now, as well as Fubo. We just took one of our last outs there. I mean, we still have some shares on it, so it's still good to go here. It's only 944, man. I've already made 40 trades here for you, so it's been a good one so far on that. Fubo, we'll let it go upside and see if we can get some averages in there, and then we'll watch Virgin Galactic here. I actually had a 28.50 trigger there, which I didn't even know. I didn't even think that's the low of the day. 28.51. So I don't know how that triggered, but we got into that short, so that's going to be a little bit of a mistake. So my price is worse than I wanted to be, but that is what it is, man.
Ameli. Look, so Ameli won.
Yeah.
First of all, it doesn't. You're saying it takes cojones to short Coinbase? To be honest, so here's the thing, like, if you get a 290 print like this and it retraces that deep and then like jumps up, like, keep in mind, like, the break here to 290 was smaller than the dip buy push to the top. So it just traveled a full $10 to the upside in a matter of 5 minutes, and then shorting off a 290 level. That's pretty structured, man. Like, when you're shorting something and you're just like, I'm going short and I don't have an obvious, level of resistance, and that one got put in here, that's a little bit more cojones. But the other thing is, I'm immediately out of that trade. Like, I'm not even trying to hold it past this 285 level. That's short right into 285. It's in, it's out. Don't look the gift horse in the mouth. And where'd my VWAP go on this chart? I don't even know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure where anything's going anymore. Yeah, I'm getting a tan from the light. I think the light's pretty good. Like, see, now I look kind of normal, and then you do that front shot. There you go, and now I'm all whitewashed there. So, okay, that's good to go, though. We'll just keep watching some of these names as we continue to go. mRNA, man, yes, sir. I mean, I'm not in it, but I want this to keep coming down. There was a report out there that this is way, way overvalued. I got to read more about that, but I did see it yesterday.
2 days in a row,
Yeah,
man.
it's 2 days in a row now. Moderna just has been cracked. I love this name, like maybe back to 340. Like, I don't know, man. I've been calling puts on this thing for a while. Obviously, you got smoked on them as it goes all the way to 500. We were talking about them around, I don't even remember where it was. I think it was around here, 320 when they got added. What's up, Brendan?
Just having a look at some of the airlines, guys, just popping up here. UAL, the first one to go red to green. So big volume on the buy side at 47 there for UAL. Back to positive here, some of the airlines going.
Apparently people are saying good one, Rob. I don't know. Did Rob hit something there?
What did he hit?
I don't know. We have no idea. This is really
the program monitor's all the way on the
really
other
bad.
side.
No wonder why no one's fixing our
I
stuff.
almost said Weight Watchers. WW does exactly the same thing that it did before. It pops up to 25. We short off at 25. We get 78. We take some out in the 20s for a 50-cent win, and now we're holding on for low of the day. So down 25%, shorting the pops. This is like, it actually spiked at $7 into 25. I would have put Gates of Hell for this one. But why not?
Yeah, nice one, Rob.
I didn't mean it that way. Like, thank you guys for doing the animations for us. Obviously, we wanted something there. Yeah, but wait, WW going up in smoke or down in flames, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, he did that kiss one. I mean, there's no surprise that Rob did the kiss one, right?
Oh, he did?
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but come on. I mean, that's a pretty bad one.
He created that one.
Yeah.
Well, how old is that?
And again, no surprise. Okay, U.S. Steel.
I didn't say, you said.
Yeah, U.S. Steel still trying to go to the upside right now. A good call on U.S. Steel. Yeah, you took that coin coin with us. Thank you, Momentum Hunter. I mean, what a great trade that was here for us on Coinbase. I just wish we would have seen that 280 dip there. I missed it, but we did average in, bang, bang, right there off the open. Remember when I said that we got this tick initially on Coinbase? And I was like, I'm not worried about it because I wanted that 283 anyways. And tick, 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 boom. And then we also put a bid lower when we realized that. And there we go. Yeah, spicy. I like that one. Yeah, these guys know. You know what, Neil? I have a feeling that our stream decks are never going to get fixed because
he just loves the power.
And I'm down with that, man. I mean, I like it. I like that they're doing that. Okay, CCL now here. All right, so I'm going to average in one more time. This is just a play on the variant again, right? So we've talked about that yesterday. We saw some highs here on CCL around this 24. We're actually taking out the high right now, so I'll average in one more time on this one, and then we'll see if we can get out hopefully lower. But I just thought that with LUV and some of that negative rhetoric off the open there, that this one wouldn't be as great as it was. I mean, tanked early, man. Wow, down to 23. I like this trade. So we're going to wait for a little bit more. I don't mind averaging an even rate now here, but we're going to watch 24 if it breaks, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to look at ORF in a quick second here. And yeah, we see Canada Goose in some interesting levels, getting to some interesting levels on the daily. They're down 13% post earnings. But Upstart is, oh my goodness. So anyways, when you do the morning show, there's a lot of things that are on the list. Upstart threw out like a bit of a dip buy. I never got it, but Fulcrum was moving. Virgin Galactic I was in. WW at the same time. So like I always say every single day, there's always going to be something that you end up missing, and the dip buy on Upstart was clearly it. 172 double top here. I don't like this one for the rollover. I'm not fighting Upstart today. There's just no way, no how. We talked about the spread here in the stock. Even after the open, it's like 50 cents, and that's like ill-tempered Upstart. Fulcrum just came back in a big way, so the secondary push ended up being at 22, not 23. It's right back up to that 24 range, just bounced off 22, 36 here, which oddly enough, if you look at the first push, the high on the 20 push was to 2035, and then this resistance here was at 2235, and this resistance here, same spot. Looks like it's going to stall out at 24. Even if it pulls back in, ooh goodness, and 22 breaks, there might be a short trade through that 22, just a bit of a scalp trade there. But for now, Fulcrum still off to the races. Virgin Galactic, I'm still holding it. It's $1.20 in the money, but it's starting to slow down a little bit. Whoa, Fulcrum. What the heck, man? This stock is nuts.
Fulcrum still going there? I just I sent a note to Vikram there, told him that we shouted him out. So hopefully Vikram will see that one and know that.
I want to know who he's taking with 4 and 5. That's what I want to know. Is he going to take Pitts? Is he going to take? I'm talking fantasy football, you guys. If you're not interested, I apologize.
If you're not interested, yeah, hide your mic or whatever, or mute your thing, because Neil and I have been in a football pool. It's called High School Memories, and it's like from, I don't know how long. How long have we been doing it? Probably 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
At least. Maybe
we used to do the draft at our office, our trading floor.
And maybe Vikram might finally win. I don't know. Okay, so we'll see here. I'm just always throwing shade on everybody. Okay, Fubo still nice move to the upside. Okay, so CCL guys here does come back a little bit for us. So nice little trade here for CCL, but we didn't get out. Like it went all the way back down to 75. So we did take that one there. Added some weight to my account with Weight Watchers. Hey man, look, I'm loving this.
I've been avoiding those puns, but why not?
Vader and Vader.
Vader is the Force.
Vader is the Force.
The greatest and most powerful Jedi ever. The greatest and most powerful. I mean, I don't even know. He's just the GOAT. Whatever, Brendan.
The GOAT?
I was trying to be like the greatest, most powerful. Are we going to Brendan?
Yeah, I don't know. Brendan?
Hi. Bitcoin, guys, back to day highs here. Just saw this one, EBON, some of the Chinese Bitcoin miners popping up here on volume. 10% here for EBON.
All right. Yeah, when you mentioned GOAT, it just reminds us all of Brendan because we all know.
He's the.
There we go.
The graphic, I'd be hitting it right now, but I can't, right? So.
Yeah.
So a couple of things here. Yes, Weight Watchers is amazing. It's down at 24 here, so we're like 70 cents in the money. I'm holding these shares because at some point it could take out that bottom, but I'm back into Crowbar, or it's Cobar, but I'm calling it Crowbar because it's easier to say. Right. Back up to this 21 level, sorry, 210 level, 21, whatever. I got broken out here. This is my losing stock of the day, obviously, but it immediately rejected. I missed it on the rollover, so I wasn't going to chase it down at 2. I'll wait for it to pop halfway, exactly where I got in on this reversal at 212, just below that. So we're back into this one at 210 end day half. Virgin Galactic Space. We said 27.50. We said 27.50. It's now 28.20. But just to show you guys that we're not really making it up here, this is 27.75. So we kind of feel like this is why I should get back down to that price. 27.50 also. is historically the only 3 times I've bought shares in this stock in the long term, it's always been at 27.50. That's not happening this time. This time I think it's breaking at some point, and then we're looking back to 22 for the long-term play here. But Virgin Galactic continuing to defecate all over itself, down almost 10%. So it's going to get SSR at some point. If it didn't go already, I think it got very, very close. It might have actually ticked short sale restricted. So SSR potentially here on Virgin Galactic as it continues to puke.
Yeah, what a morning. I was just going to tweet it out, but like everything, guys, today, like look at this Virgin Galactic, just bang, 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 like just huge trades for me on Virgin Galactic. I know we both have that. And then now look at CCL. Like, I don't, honestly, man, we can review the trades. I mean, CCL, 17 cents in the money. That's a banger. $8, $7 winner on Coinbase. That's a banger. Fubo TV. I mean, what else can we say? We've already talked about that. Fulcrum, a great trade off the open there. And then we just did Virgin Galactic as well. So, yeah, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 here today. So I guess this spot isn't so bad after all. I was a little nervous about sitting in a new spot and trying to get ready with the setup. And we always talk about that, how you have to be comfortable in your setup. I mean, I'm comfortable here.
It's
just
slightly different, man.
Missing a lot of stuff. Like I don't have my cell phone charger. It's little stupid things like that. Like my water's down here. Shout out to all of you guys, Hydration Nation. I don't know where. Hey, is that shot right there? I like that shot. Yo, what up? Camera there? That's good. We're ready. I can't put the water there. So I got to get one of those tables that I found for Brendan. Brendan knows what I'm talking about here. A little side shot table there where we can put that over there. So we'll see if we can get that.
It's a stool.
Yeah, I know what it is. It's a stool.
Call it a table. It's a stool.
Well, it's being used as a table.
It's fine. Okay, yes, it's utilized, and you got to make sure you get full use out of what you have around you. You want everything to be comfortable. I like this little thing that I'm not using as a. I'm not even using this as a cup holder. It needs a cup holder right here.
No. I'll
just like put a holder.
Because watch this. Bang!
Now you're like what Denzel Washington knocking cups over. It's like.
Oh yeah.
You seen those clips?
No, but thanks for the Denzel Washington.
You've never seen. Okay.
I would say maybe you're more like Denzel Washington.
No. I'm just saying it's a thing he does. He's always flipping cups off tables.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all over. Trust me, it's on YouTube. You can see like funny clips about it. I'm not that good at doing a Denzel impression, or I would do it. Mogo, I want to get to, which you can trade in Toronto, by the way.
My kid's artwork, Tyrone Biggums. Yeah, like I don't have the artwork behind me. I don't have. But do you guys like this new setup? I mean, I think they do. We'll see.
Why not?
We'll see what they say here.
Zeal is moving?
We're creating some winners here for them and hopefully making a little bit of money as well. I'm already in chill mode because of the day that I've had, but let's just keep on trading.
Apparently Zeal is on the move. I know they reported, but they didn't do anything after. They did nothing after earnings yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. We can check Zila. Is it on the move? I sometimes think people are kind of shilling Zila on the chat there.
So
that's what I think. That's what I think. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just don't do it too much there because Ms. V will ban hammer you guys.
25 cents
out of there. Okay. AMD right now. Nice. Look, yesterday, these were levels yesterday. I have to call up, maybe I'll call up a 3-minute chart, but let me go back over to a 20 period and bring it over for you guys here. AMD yesterday did have that dip down real early. Not even sure really what that was about. The NASDAQ did fall a bit, but that was way too much, man. 108 down to 104. And now today it's catching some more love. This is about right. Like we did sell some at 119, which was great up there. I mean, it gets as high as 122, but I think that was a little bit of euphoria there a couple of these days, just how great AMD was from 96 up to 120 in a matter of 4 days. That's just such a crazy move for that space and that name. But right now, okay, I don't know what he's yelling about, but maybe Coinbase
290 break.
Back there. Oh, 290 broke.
No. It's going to break.
Okay, good. So Coinbase is up to 290. We're long now, Coinbase, guys. Neil, you long?
I didn't get it. I'm going to get it now, though, because it's still there. Why is it still there?
Yeah, just not busting higher right now. Coinbase right now. We'll see where it can go from here, but we'll see if it does retrace from that 290. I'm in at 290. We all are. I crossed, 289. I have 289.99 for some reason. So that's Coinbase heading to the downside now. Maybe we average in. Sometimes they look too good on a chart to be true. So we'll wait to see if Coinbase does fall back in. We don't want to create a loser on this one. But Miss V over at the big screen, and I love that name, and I can talk about that when you get back.
Great, Sean. Well, yes, Walmart is trading on a high volume and up more than 1%, guys. Do you see any opportunities in Walmart today?
Yes.
Long term.
Yeah, so Walmart, I mean, not even just long-term, great. I mean, obviously, I'm actually long this thing about 100, and I wish I would have averaged in to it a lot lower when it was breaking out. But the thing about Walmart is, and I just want to talk to you about relative performance. Like right now, Walmart, if you just look back here, it's not really doing anything from January, right? So if you go back here and you see January right around here, I mean, even if we come back here to 147. Like, it's basically been dead money all year. You did have great opportunities to buy this name, which is why I'm sort of thinking, missed that opportunity to buy it, right? But down here, now you're breaking out. And the reason why I like it, and that's why I talk about relative strength, is because if you look at Target or Costco or any of those other, I don't think it's fair to really judge it like a Costco. But look at what this looks like from Target standpoint, right? So Target back in January, $187, $185. Now $265. So a big move up for there, for like 70%, 80% of a move for Target. Meanwhile, Walmart just getting its feet back under it. So I think Walmart's great for a long-term play, and that's good. And yeah, Tyrone Bigham's there, misses the kids' artwork. We did talk about that. It seems like we're all doing well though at this spot.
You'd actually be surprised. You'd be surprised that Target actually trades at a cheaper multiple than Walmart, which is surprising given the relative performance.
Does it now still?
I'm sure? I think it's really close.
I'm not sure.
I should double check, because the last time I looked at that was probably a little bit too late. But I double check. It's close. It's close. It's closer than you think. But check price to forward earnings on both those two. I want to get
Walmart and Target.
Bought a dip buy on Coinbase. I got some out there in front of that 289 because it looks like it's barcoding around here. But this is. I cannot look a gift horse in the mouth on Virgin Galactic. 28 has a bid on it. I'm sitting literally here beneath that 28 because of 27.50 I wanted to have. 28's got a bid on Virgin Galactic. It's short sell restricted. I've now put a trail in. If this thing breaks back above 28.50, I'm going to take it out. If it bounces too many times off 28, I might just take it out right here. It looks like there's a bit of a buyer on Virgin Galactic. And then I'm going to go back to this Crowbar. Why am I calling it Cobweb? Because it's
I don't know. What does that mean, Cobweb?
Because it's CWBR. I don't know why I have Cobweb in my head every time I look at this stock. Anyways, this one just flushed here. Obviously, I'll say this is my down stock. I'm down on this stock. There's no question about it. I got topped out here at 220, but we got the rollover here at 210. It's now heading into $2. It's a $2 stock. Obviously, so you're going to start taking like 5, 10, 15 cent winners. I still think it has a chance to take out 185, but I'll cover some at 2. I'll cover some in front of the mid 190s for sure on CWBR. It's Cobar, by the way. It is Cobar, the name of the company. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, apologies. But this is the bid on Virgin Galactic I'm talking about. This is now the third time it's testing it. It's not a gigantic amount of size, but I think I'm kind of splitting hairs here, thinking I'm going to only get out on the other side of it, guys. So if it shows up on the bid, one more time, O's on the bid, and then does not chew through this level, I'm probably going to put a stop here and get out at like 28.10, 28.15, just lock in the profits on Virgin Galactic. But I want one more crack if this level gets taken out on the bid.
Yeah, we're still holding that long there. And we're 5 for 5 all off the sticky note, guys. And we just tweeted that out. So I can show you here some of the sticky note talk here that we had early on, man. And thank you for, I don't have that many likes, only 72 today, which is not that great. But look at this, guys. Coinbase, that we talked about, should be a good quarter, man. It should be a lot higher, guys. Long 283. So that was a banger. We wanted to buy dips on Fubo. That's a banger. We did that exactly. 29.50. Watch out. We shorted the crap out of space. Weight Watchers we haven't got into yet. CCL, too much variant. Short 24, long Folk 22. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5, and then we'll wait to see. Just haven't been in on Weight Watchers yet, and we will have a look at that. But that's a good one there for the sticky note, as it remains the king, in my opinion, anyways. And I'm just looking at levels. I'm just glad that you guys are watching it. Might not give you the winners. What hopefully it does, and my idea with it is just to give you some ideas. So there goes. So now I'm holding a very, very small piece of Coinbase so I could watch it. So now when it breaks through, so I got out there. So it came all the way back up. I got out at 288.84 there, 288. So I wind up losing $1.50 there. Now I'm holding such an embarrassingly small amount just so I can watch the price action. Like if it can come back down here to 280, then I will buy more, or maybe even that 283 level that I like. So let's put a small bid around now, see if we can average in, and then we may wind up losing on Coinbase if it does take out some of these lows. But I do like it. The coin's rallying a little bit, but right now we have to go over to Brendan, who now I have a great view I can see the whole screen. And Neil, guess what? Now when you know what day it is, I'm also going to know what day it is. And cheat code enabled. Brendan with the big screen. Take it over, my man.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at how things stand at this point for North American markets. The S&P 0.25%, the Dow leading the way once again, full 0.5%, 0.54. So back to record high territory for both of those at this point. The NASDAQ lagging ever so slightly, but we are both in positive territory, the composite and the 100. The Russell was very weak initially right off the bat from the open, but has started to bounce a little bit as well. Here in Toronto, the TSX up about 0.3%. Let's have a look at a couple of things we were talking about in the pre-market. Yeah, Virgin just straight to the downside. I'll highlight these levels over here on the daily chart because we're coming into a spot where it could find a little bit of a bounce. One more, and then we'll get you back to the guys. Wanted to mention UAL. First one to go, red to green. I said for UAL, we're coming back up to these highs now for United. Guys, back over to you.
I actually forgot about the airlines. I'm not going to lie. I'm out of Virgin. Someone asked where my target was for Virgin Galactic. Really? 27.50. So it broke 28, and we said if it took that level, I'd try to hold through. It bounced off 27.80 there, and I just put a trail into 28. I'll take it out. It's a clean $2 move, and 27.50 was that target anyways from the daily chart. I know there's a lot of movers, and we touched on Zila, and we didn't really go over it too much, but I didn't see a heck of a lot that interests me on Zila in terms of a day trade. I know it's up. It was up at that $3 range. We'll go back to it. CWBR, and this is why I just said it. On a $2 stock, you definitely scalp them out. And just look at these obvious levels. Like at $2 is a round number. It stalled out there on the first pullback. When it failed, broke 220, and I got stopped out. So we short back in at 210. We get some out here at 2s. We get some out here at the evens, $2. I probably will not, as long as $2 holds, I won't get more shares in here at 210. I would wait for it to retest now 220, 225 up at that top, guys. So I'm not saying Virgin Galactic is a long at this point, by the way. I'm just saying I'm out because that was my price target on it. So it might go further, fair enough. I don't have any levels below 2750, or 2750 until this thing is in the low 20s. But that doesn't mean I'm just gonna hold on to the short forever. Can't really be doing that.
No, we're going to take, I guess a little bit of a hit here if it does go back downside. We're trying to average in. Where did I put a bid? 280, 250 on Coinbase there. Not average in. So like I said, it will be an average in, so my price won't be that, but you'll see. I'll take on more shares on Coinbase as it does drop off that 290 mark. So all the celebrations come to an end when it hits that and then turns around. Thank God we were fast on the keys there and were able to get out. So that was really no damage. Now I'm just trying to get longer. You're going to see me long Coinbase, but this is why I'm talking like this, because I want you to know that we did dump the position there. We're holding a very, very small amount here. Now we're going to try to get longer at 280, 250 there or so. Space, I know Neil got out of it, and probably good. I don't know where we're going.
It's still at the low.
It's still at the lows. I'm still happy with it. Looking at a daily chart here, these are, this is kind of where I was saying maybe I'm going to dump some more money. Not more. I have not dumped anything into it, but I do want to re-up the RRSPs, and I'm going to do that probably today or tomorrow. So that's like the 401k. And I do want to put, I know that this is normally swing traded, but I think at these levels, you could probably just average in and try to buy this because I don't think Richard Branson or Virgin Galactic is going to be giving up anytime soon on the idea of space travel. So as long as that's there and it becomes something that is a little more affordable and, it'll come back. No one's talking about it now, right? I mean, it's one Cathie Wood purchase away from this thing being back to $40. So you just got to wait on that. And I hate saying that because she shouldn't have that much influence on the market.
She does.
But she, on certain names,
not
right?
many fund managers
she was negative
actually
for a while.
It's true, but
But still,
not many actually will say that we're doing all these moves every single day, and it's like you get to see in and out everything she does.
That's the thing. Right? I was going to say,
so
public,
transparent. Right?
Public information there. You can go to, I think it's like arkinvest.com or something like that.
Yeah, like daily moves.
And they show you their daily buys, right? So, that reminds me, a name that they've been buying forever is this UiPath. This is an AI company. The only problem with UiPath is the fact that they have so much competition. They came out real hot off their IPO, man. $65 all the way up to 90, and it's just been straight to the downside. This is a name that she's buying as well, hand over fist. But for me, I don't think so. There's so many, whatever. She could be right, I could be wrong. That happens often. But one name that we're both right on, I believe, anyways. I know she was dumping a little bit of Palantir, but we're long Palantir down here hard. And then we've been buying all the way up, and now we're waiting for Palantir to break out off earnings on the 12th, which is tomorrow. So we'll see where Palantir goes today. It's just going down. It's doing the opposite of what it did a couple days ago when we basically went parabolic to the upside from 2150. So that's kind of now getting into these areas of concern for me. Is Palantir, and there we go. So now Coinbase coming back in now. So we'll see. We just get our 280, 250. It's not looking great. Downside moves, man, like 288, 287, something like that on Coinbase is going to be some sort of an out. So I just got to make sure I have that out, and I do. But I'm willing to almost give everything back here. I think Coinbase should be strong. I liked 283 before, so I'm going to like it again. Let's see where we go here with Coinbase.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think. I mean, 277 was definitely a level all pre-market here. I'm on the bid at 280, well, in front of 280, but I'm looking at NVAX here, and AHPI is worth a watch. I just paid for some locates on that one. That was like 6 cents a share to be able to pay. But Novavax, 1-2 times 24, so 245, I should say. 245 and a quarter break. Fail at 245, lower high now being put in. I mean, as I say it, sometimes I should actually maybe get in. So shout out to you guys that were pointing this one out here. Novavax is a good level. If I get it in this cluster, obviously like this 243 area, off of the high of the day, fair enough. But I'm not going to chase it too far because if 45 is your out, there's always a price you were not willing to pay. Just got filled there. So we'll get in 243.80, I mean 79, whatever, it's the same thing. And then use like that out. In a situation like this, I know the high is 245.25, but to me, giving up the extra 25 cents, like what's the point? If this is taking out 45 here, I see almost no way it's not going to print that 25 as well. So that's what I would go ahead and do. Thankfully, it looks like it just wants to immediately reject that level. Give us like the quick scalp trade. This is very similar to what we did the first time through on Coinbase, and quite frankly, I don't know why I didn't do it the second time. And then work it down into VWAP on NVAX. So a good look there. We'll scalp it out. I'm not going to bang anything because it shakes our monitors here when you bang the table. I'd be hitting a graphic, but play the ranges when you can. This is a time of day, especially it's August, right? Like it's summertime. Like trade the range. If you've got good levels, go back to them. If they're going to work for you, just keep shooting with it. That's why I'm not getting back into Virgin Galactic. It's in this 27.80 to 28 range here that I don't think it's going to hang out for too long. So I want to be patient with that one. We're going to Brendan, I believe.
From yesterday, guys, Smile Direct Club trying to bounce here back to 5.5, 550, 8.25% on the day. Still decent volume behind this move as well. You remember lower yesterday off earnings, guys.
And what the hell? That was, thanks for bringing that up. That was my swing play trade yesterday. We talked about that as we traded it yesterday here. And we mentioned that at the 3 o'clock show that this was a name that we liked. I mean, we were short all day on this name. But then it held 5 pretty nice. And we talked about that for a nice little swing. So hopefully someone got that play. I might have mentioned another stock too. I'll have to think about what that was. But SDC, a nice little play there back to the upside. So congratulations anybody that did wind up taking that. It looked like our Coinbase buy was good. That was 282.50 or so. You're back up to 284 now and change. So here we go. Coinbase back on the radar here for me as we'll see if it wants to keep going upside now. Hopefully it does, man. That's Coinbase. Folk, okay, so, you know, it does go all the way to 25. That would have been a great out there. Just didn't really have anything on the upside there for me other than just trying to let it run. I do notice that we did have some issues here back. This is why we like 22. We've stopped off at this level a couple times. Then you get that sort of motivation to go longer through there today. So breaks through 22. That's where we went long right here, $22, and then rode it, man, for $1.50. Then we should have taken that 3. So hopefully now it gets a little stronger here. That is Fulcrum there. Hopefully that can get going. Fubo. We cashed out. Cashed out. Yeah. Now we are holding a little piece. I wrote down here. Let's see. Actually, I don't have a downside look here, but a 30 break, and we'll probably get out of this one. Actually, thinking about right now reloading on this 31 low. So let's do a little bit of that. Let's take another small piece here on Fubo at these levels because we do have that 31 low that we're waiting to break. So if it does break that, we'll get out. But let's take another piece right here and then play it off 31, guys.
Yeah, Fubo definitely a mover. Or doing some things here to the upside. It just made a bit of a break. It's up 27%. Let's remember.
Oh, by the way,
you guys remember what that stock is doing, guys, by the way. We're up at like 680 here, but this stock has been more parabolic than this before. It's got big levels if it ever gets back to like 925, so watch out for that. But AHPI, yeah, AHPI has just made a bit of a reversal here off of 15. If it holds $14, I think it's a decent shot to retest those highs, 15 to 15.25. But that's another mover. I don't see any new news on it, so we're probably just still swimming at yesterday's news on this stock. So anyways, two big movers here, parabolic for now, but Fulcrum is coming right back and it just broke 22. 20 even stands out as well. So it's been trying to catch a bid. I've been trying to avoid it until it catches one. I'm now looking at $20 because 22 just got taken out.
Yeah, and by the way, look at Coinbase, guys. Exactly as planned. So our average price was $285.50. It came right back out. We got out of that, and now we're rolling with a higher spot here. So that's perfect, man. We got out exactly at our average price, $285.50. Right there happens to be where VWAP was. That was exactly, so we took a 2,890 there and a 282, and that put our average price there. So now we'll see. Again, it's not a, it wasn't a huge position because back and forth $10. I just wasn't super comfortable loading up there because I thought that it could have ran through 290. Now we'll wait to see if it does. So now we have a 282.50 spot on, and we protected our average, and so now we're back into the money here, obviously on Coinbase. Another $4 winner for us, but realistically, it's only like $1.80, about $2, because our average price was that 282. So we go first in, first out on the math there. Walmart, wow, $1.50 today, 150, 1.5%, 150 basis points. Walmart continues to make that move up there. This is going to be a play. I am going to be buying more Walmart. So just a matter of when I do that. It's pulling back nicely. So, again, on a market dump or anything like that, we will look at Walmart and try to get some money into Walmart if it does fade back just a little bit. CCL, man, it'll be a profitable stock even when we do break through 24 because of all of this. But it held up pretty good. All of these dumps, I didn't get enough out. So that's on me. Like when it goes down to 77 there and we're short 91, we probably should have took some out. So we got out. CCL looks like it wants to take out yesterday's high, which it already did, 223.85. And now we're looking at 24. So that's going to be my out there on CCL if it ever does come through.
And this ORF just got to 97 there. I was just offering like 93s on the way back in here. I'm not going to chase it too far. And when it bounces off an even dollar like that, that's a quick little scalp trade. Like you want to get in first time through and start taking profit out because it's still going semi-parabolic here. Not totally parabolic move, but semi-parabolic through 650 up into that 7 even. You don't want to chase it because if it stalls out at about that 70 mark, you could be snapping back and then you're just consolidating for a 7 even break. The other one that we did after the short stop, we already took some profit on Novavax. Now it's headed right back towards that top. It just rejected 245 again. If I get a better price, I might take a second shot here at that 245. But if I ever take this is like the third time it's testing. You want to make sure you're getting a better price the second or third or fourth time through. To me, it's kind of ridiculous to throw away more. And I shorted it originally at 243.80. I would only short this one if I get it between 44.50 and that 45 price.
Yeah, so for us, by us, Fubo TV there does wind up breaking. So our last little spot there, we can hit some sort of a negative graphic if you want, Rob. But to the downside there goes Fubo TV. So no worries, but we did have the long, and then we give it back, and it's going to be a flat stock for me today. So we pay fees basically on Fubo as that was the initial problem there right off the open. We had that. If we had just rolled with these, then we'd be laughing. But we did average into 31. So I did like that call. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that there was a mistake there because there wasn't. How about a $5 winner? Bang right now for Coinbase, guys, right back to 288. So again, we'll talk about this. I think this could be the trade of the day for multiple reasons because we did have that mistake, not a mistake, but we did have that break at 290, which we were able to get out. Thank God, because that went about $5 against us, and then it came all the way back up, and I was able to get some out, and then we reloaded, and that's my favorite key to hit. I'm reloaded. If you guys have, hey, can you find that key? That was one of the earlier ones there, Lucas. The reloaded one. That's my favorite key. So if we can find that and hit that, that'd be great because that's exactly what we did. And now we have another $7 winner here on Coinbase. So Good trade there. And then, by the way, look at Spaceman. This was also a reload, but it was to the downside when I didn't think this 28.50 broke. It didn't matter. We wanted that trade anyways. So now we're down into the money. So a nice little, did you hit the reload? Oh, I'll find it. When we find it, I don't know if I'm even going to be able to hear it. So that's why I ask again. But there it is. So space to the downside there. And if you can guess the movie, if you've been on our show, you'll know it. There goes Coinbase, by the way. Right now, giddy up, Coinbase. Another $8 winner for you on Coinbase there. Hopefully you have that with me as it continues to go. So this is $8 in the money for Coinbase. This is $1 in the money for Space. This is against me now, folk. So I could say something about this, but we won't. And then CCL, hell yeah, CCL. CCL rejects. So we are going to go perfect today. Fubo is going to be negative, but very, very small. So slight perfect there, not Mr. Perfect. Kurt Hennig, by the way, there for WWE fans. If you know Kurt Hennig, you know Mr. Perfect. But now we're coming back to the downside for CCL. So we did empty that out as we're pretty light on this name right now. And Coinbase, fly, my friend, fly. All the way to $291 now. This is $8 in the money. So good trade here for me on Coinbase.
There it is. We do hear it when it comes through. I kind of knew that. I'm like, he didn't hit that key. Rob didn't hit that key. He's good at getting graphics for us. We don't have our own graphics, obviously, if you're tuning in here. Orf made a $7 break. Remember I said I wouldn't short it, I wouldn't chase it because if it holds around that 670 area, it could break out 7. It did break out 7. We got some out. Top was 714, so not much of a move. And then I took some back in here at 703, canceled the rest of that bid because I'm like, if it pulls back, I want it holding that same range. It's got to hold 680. So why am I dip buying above 7 even? So I'll leave some room to dip buy in front of 675, 680, the same place that it held before. Or making money move to the upside, but you know this stock has had a bigger range than this before. So it's big, it's up 32%. This break from 650 is only 50 pennies or so. There's definitely more room for it to run. You just don't want to get caught in the wrong end of this thing. When it falls like an absolute rock. I'm looking back to that 675 area. I'm still holding on to 703s. I want to catch a reasonable price on a dip buy here. I took some at 703, and I should have been waiting till like 685 instead.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting this out. I'm saying that I'm reloaded here on Coinbase, as you guys can watch this. Okay, I'm reloaded. Now a $10 winner here on Coinbase, so that's a good one. We'll tweet that out and attach it to our sticky note because Coinbase was one of the #1 names here for me today. And I'm back now into the money on my long-term holding as well. I just double-checked that. So we are now back into the money finally on Coinbase, which is nice there. So I've been saying all the time, the whole time, buy the physical and you don't have to worry about Coinbase, but there it is. There's now officially now $10 in the money on Coinbase as that's going perfect. Yeah, I know Kurt Hennig. I know Mr. Perfect passed away, so rest in peace to him. Yeah, so that was not too long ago there. But yeah, Mr. Perfect, a great one. If I had a gum, I'd go spit it and hit it. I used to do that as a kid. You know, you had the gum,
awesome, man.
spit it, and then you hit it. Now I realize that's maybe bad because the gum just goes flying. But I love that. And then the towel.
Well, yeah, because you're
throw
littering.
the towel behind the back and catch it, man.
You don't want to be a litter bug.
Wow. Yeah, Mr. Perfect. Great name there and great legend in the WWE, of course.
Speaking of WWE, actually, it's not to forget about Weight Watch, whatever you want to call it. It used to be Weight Watchers. I'm just not good at. When they come up with a new name and you've been saying something forever, I'm not really good at change in that direction. So I call the Rogers Center the Rogers Center, the Sky Dome most of the time. But WW, right back to these lows. It continues to reject breaking this fresh low at 23.50. And as long as this is going to be happening, I'm going to hold on to this trade. It's a reversal to the long at 25. So this is like boom or bust. It either takes out the low and flushes even further, or we get a chance at this 25 break to the upside. In the middle, we've already done the scalping of this trade that we're going to do. I did get my dip buy over on, what do we call it, Orphazyme. So it is holding for now. But if that 85 or that 75 area goes, I'm going to be out of that one. And I am back into CWBR. But I have not added to the position. Remember what I said? Scalps them out of front of 2. The only way I'm taking more shares is up in this 15 to 20 range. Speaking of small caps, that was good timing. We're going to Brendan for the small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, a little bit of a quiet morning so far in small cap land. We'll talk about a few that we've been mentioning here. FULC, I'll give you my take after what happened yesterday. All the way to 22 was the exact high. Top tick from yesterday. So I was looking at 22, and then above that 24 to 24.50 ended up being clear resistance in the pre-market. So this gave you a bit of a breakdown. Just before the open, 23.5 average you could have had versus 24. We're down to 21.5 right now, so it's struggling, trading back below yesterday's high. That is the key. So as long as it's below yesterday's high, a heads up to the downside on FULC. Let's go back to, or over to, the next one if we could. Thank you, Robbie. CWBR trading in a range. I mean, this thing has done absolutely nothing between 2 and 220. 220 on the daily chart, a massive level for this thing. So I still like this eventually, but it has to break 2. Someone's buying a ton of shares every time it comes down to 2. It has tried to get through it a couple of times, but someone's just absorbing a lot of shares of CWBR. And then this ZEV, the one from yesterday, it's still inside of kind of what happened late in the day yesterday. So we're in this range. It has tested both ends of it already. Not really doing much as well. Volume, a bit of a problem already for ZEV. Guys, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Brendan. One stock that we haven't talked about, so we'll sort of get it out of the way here. We did talk about NEO. Tesla looking like it. I'm not going to say it's going to test 700, but we just turned negative on the NASDAQ here, and we're going to retest that 15,000. At least it looks like we're going to retest 15,000. So decent chance that we get a retest of 700 on Tesla. I'll watch it at that range if it tries to get there. I think it could be an interesting trade. That's probably the only level I'll be concerned about there. But that ORPH, usually that's how you pronounce ORF. We did the dip buy here. We're looking to hold that 3/4 range. To me, this is like a tight stop. It's a breakout, and then it's a dip buy. Like I was saying, it actually just broke that stop at 75. So I'm going to get out. If it's going to holding VWAP every single time, I added back to my charts, no idea why it disappeared. If it's going to hold VWAP, then I want to wait for 650 to get back in again. So I wanted to buy this dip here off this cluster. I'll go one more time at that 650. If it breaks that, I would turn bearish. I mean, I like that CWB. I mean, obviously it's still in a bit of a range, like Brendan mentioned. I like it still here in front of that 220 because of the rejection it did. The other one that we wanted to get to here was, of course, Mogo. This one definitely was a bit of a missed opportunity. It's like at 710 to like 715, tight stop trade. And then Mogo goes right and literally to the high of the day at 746, which is a random number, but trust me, it's the high of the day. And then a reversal. So 750 still stands out for a potential break from Mogo. You can trade that in either Toronto or here, here in Toronto or in the NASDAQ. Doesn't really matter. It's been a big runner, but it just double top rejected. So as long as it holds the low, this 660 from the open, that doesn't break. You're set up for an afternoon run. This is also on the watch list. Even if, I mean, I only traded it one time here and probably should have been looking at it off of that high, but you don't catch every single trade. And speaking of that, Moderna, it's kind of, this one's kicking me in the junk because we talked about that 500 level, and this is what happened off of that 500 level, and I got no shorts on this thing, and it's killing me. But if you look to where this breakout started 2 days ago, this is 420. I mean, I know 420 is a thing. This is 420 into 415 here. That's sort of an obvious level of support. And look at it bounce back into the upside. If this thing catches a move all the way back into 440 to 445, it's a short. I know we're talking $20 ranges, but on Moderna, you need to talk $20 ranges because that's how it rolls. I know you guys hit the 420. Every time I say it, you guys are all over it. So thank you for getting our graphics to us there. Moderna, it's got about $10 to go, but if this does continue through, I think there's another rollover to be had here. I missed the bottom. I hope somebody caught it. Pretty decent looking level now at 415 to 420 on mRNA.
Yeah, I love that mRNA play, and I want to get more. I want to get into that. I'm not into it yet. Look at Cardano, guys. The last time we talked about this was 179 right here when the market opened up. Well, I mean, the market's 24 hours, but our market, stock market, and then now you're up to 188. So there it goes, man. Cardano still king. Brendan, what's up?
RAAS, a little one here just popping up, guys. Klupin Group Holdings. Chinese stocks as a group have been strong so far today. You can look at any of those education ones as well, but volume alert here for RAAS, guys, back above $5.
Ross, right there. Okay, so this Coinbase did dump, and I was debating getting out at 290 on that dump out, but I didn't, man. I'm just going to probably hold this for a bit and see if Coinbase wants to rock and roll. You know, if we break back down through VWAP, I mean, VWAP really hasn't meant much today. but this is still a $9 winner. It was $13 or something in the money. No, sorry, no, the best was 10. What am I long at? 280, 250. So the high of the day, 294. So 12 or so, 1150 or so in the money on Coinbase. But we're still $10 in the money. So it's still near the day's high. We can watch out for Coinbase. Virgin Galactic does make that stop there at 27 and change. So right now, if I can look at maybe a 3-minute chart, we can test this, maybe think about getting out. There's the moving average there, back to 28. I don't know if I want to give it that much room to the backside there. A 1-minute chart, yeah, it's all screaming at me 28. So I don't know if, I'm $1 in the money right now. I think that seems a little bit silly. Okay, so let's zoom this out a little bit more here. It falls, like the falls are so dramatic on Coinbase. 28, yeah, I'm just gonna hold this one. I've already cashed in a lot in it. There's really no levels here. I could do a trailing stop, but I don't really want to get out of this. Sometimes it's just worth holding it, have a little bit of fun with the stock. We've already crushed it, but it's a position, and we're talking real money. You should look at things seriously, and I am, believe me. It's just I don't see anything enough here to get me out of anything. All these little marks to the downside are still there. So we'll keep on that one. And then here goes
for Folk.
Yeah, okay, I'll look at Folk in a second. It's pretty light right now for that. I've held that against me through that 22. I was looking at 20 for Folk. Okay, there's CCL, but this is the good thing about me and Neil sitting beside each other. We can hear each other. So 23.70, it dipped down there one more time. So I'm going to wait on Carnival, but I do have another bid in there in the 60s. So if we can dip below there around this area again, low 70s maybe, we'll put another bid. I'm going to up that bid right now. So that's Carnival downside. And yeah, Neil, I don't know if you want to talk about Folk, but it's right back to that 22 area.
I'm going to get, in a quick second, I'm going to rinse and repeat on Novavax first, though. So we took the first short off of 245. The second one was a tighter stop, and of course that breaks 245. It goes up to 250. I'll do exactly the same thing here. Just a little bit more aggressive though, because I was able to actually catch 249 here. Scalps met. I was actually on the bid for a bit there at 248, and it took a while to chew through it. 247, it's already pulled back. If it goes further, I'll get the last out in front of 245. So forget about VWAP. I'm going to throw that out the window here on NVAX. It's been too strong for that, but Novavax stalling out every $5. So before we go to Brendan, very quickly here, I just want to go to Fulcrum if I can, because look at the consolidation. Remember 22 was the break, but there was this 21.40 level as well. So it's like 40 to 60 cents worth of a range here, 50 to 60 cents of a range here at that bottom, and it's clustering right around that 22, setting up for a potential break back to the upside. If it takes out 22.50, I'm going long back into Fulcrum and just throwing a stop back at 22 even. 20 is obviously a good level, but I'm not waiting around for that. If it breaks 22.50, I'm going back long.
Before we go to Brendan, just hold on a second. I just want to say a big congratulations, Dell, the day trader. You finally got married and put a real ring on her. So congratulations, man. Member for now 8 months. And yes, I do remember that tweet of paper money. And I actually showed that to my wife. She thought that was pretty funny, so I do remember that. Dell, the day trader, congratulations on that one. So you are now finally got married. Okay, I didn't know if you proposed. Finally got married, put a ring on her, so now you're a married man. So Dell, the day trader, leaving all you ladies, and now he's a taken man. So congratulations to you and your new wife, I guess. Dell, the day trader, congratulations. So we celebrate with our family again. We talk about it. You guys are a big part of what we do here at Day Trade the World and Trader TV Live. So thank you once again, Dell, for that nice note. I am on the bid here on CCL, so a couple more pennies down and we'll get taken out. This is a big win for me again, man. We believed in this short. Now it's coming back down to the downside. We can't make him wait too much longer. There it is. Nice fill there on CCL. Bang as we go on that one. What up, Brendo?
Another one to look at here, guys. RANI, which is trading on the NASDAQ. Just a heads up. This is super, super thin. So I was just reading. This company has something that is referred to as a robotic biologic pill. So take that for what it's worth. But teeny tiny float, small cap, little biotech company running here. 63% for RANI. Coming up in about 15 minutes, stick around because it's not Memes and Movers at 10:45, but we do have a great interview coming through in the DeFi space. Prophecy DeFi going to come through. There we go. That's better. Thank you, guys. Yeah, John McMahon going to come through, the CEO of Prophecy DeFi. Really, really interesting story. So stick around for that. And then at 11 o'clock, what we saw first, Memes and Movers. Speaking of Memes and Movers, Miss V is here to give us an update on Europe.
Brandon, European markets hit record highs today. Cybersecurity company Avast trading in London is up around 3% after US rival NortonLifeLock agreed to buy it for $8.6 billion. Back to you.
Yeah, lots to look at here, guys. Just noticing your FULC back to 23.
It is. It broke that 2250, so I got back into that fulcrum, we'll call it. You know, it's a fulcrum, whatever. Yeah, that's nice. Fulcrum, like, you guys know what a fulcrum is, obviously. But if we get to 23 even, look at what happened when it broke this like 23 area after the cluster there. So I kind of feel like on the way back up in front of VWAP, I'll take a little bit of profit out and then look to that 24 level. So rinsing and repeating, we just want to make sure we're staying active in this particular name. The dip buy first was only okay, I want to say, because it was a kind of a mixed result here off of 2350. But this is more of a breakout from those lows, guys. So Fulcrum continues to be on the move. I'm still in that Novavax. It looks pretty solid. It's about $1 in the money, but I've already scalped a buck out of that secondary short there that we have. And then, of course, that CWBR. I should be calling it Chris Webber now that I think about it. CWBR. He wanted to have something for CoWeb here. I thought I was going to be able to get that 220 level one more time. Unfortunately, that has not been the case. I just got very, very close here. Got to 217. I'm still shitting in my short from 210, and I want to be bidding in front of that 2 even area, guys. So not much to report, but at the end of the day, it's getting into lunchtime. And when it goes into the reason why it's memes and movers is because during lunch you have to be trading what is moving, and Prad's going to be all over talking about what moves. Trader Prad and Valeria are an awesome team. Miss V are an awesome team. It's a lot of fun. I was sitting here watching. We'll chime in from time to time, but let them do their thing for the most part. And every now and then you just sort of yap about it, and then things happen. There's Novavax down to 247. Get a $2 winner there. The last time I did this trade, I was like half and half. This time we'll go thirds out. That way, if it breaks the top, I'm only losing on the final third of the trade, and I can get that bid down there at 245, or in front of 245, candidly. Never put outs or outs, I should say, on a stock with a 50-cent spread. Don't just bid 245.05 hoping to get it, because a lot of times, if it's going to hit that, it's probably going to go lower. So I'll get out in front of that 245 level for the final third and adjust my stop so that I don't accidentally go long.
Yeah, and again, that's what we do here on the show, right? We're talking our way through some of the trades and the ideas that we have, right? And I think that's what's important. Hopefully you guys can learn a little bit from that. And I mean, if I can hit another button here, like we're gonna go 7 for 7 or 6 for 6 or whatever it is today. I mean, Carnival, this was the only trade that was really in any worry for me. And now it's just dropped. Like now I just feel bad that we got out so much, but I was a little bit nervous upside here. But when all of your bids and your buys are lower than your offers, you've got yourself a decent trade. So really super happy with the way this one's obviously panned out. There goes CCL continuing to make moves to the downside. Now, though, if it does retrace back up, we'll probably dump a little bit of this right here, 2260, 2265, as it's going to get above VWAP one more time there. Coinbase did drop back in now, so now that we've got some levels here, I am probably going to use this 287 as an out. We let it fly. I mean, that's part of it, right? We got to take some risk here, and I think we did that. I mean, Coinbase is a very expensive stock. Whenever you're putting money into work here on Coinbase, you have to worry about it, right? So I think that we can use that 287 there on Coinbase, guys.
Oh man, I actually forgot. I definitely forgot about this. Didn't forget about some of the stocks that we've not failed to cover here. But AMC moving here today through $30 now. Like, I mean, I'm not going to just go over to the stock and blindly punch in. One of the reasons is this is my daily chart here. I don't know why it's not completely loading, but you can still see this is 28.85 on the lows. So if you're on the 15 minutes, a kind of better way to look at it here. You still have this wipeout bottom that it put in before this move. And like, remember, we were going long the last couple of times through here, including yesterday. Miss V had top in the pre-market on this name, and now we're about to test this recent low, 28.85 here. I know it was a pre-market print, but anyways, AMC to the downside. If it does pop back up, maybe there's some resistance at 31, but good call out for you guys. But watch out for that 28.80. But $1 away from definitely testing some massive support here, or potential massive support. I shouldn't call it support until it gets there on AMC, because they've been selling it. It looked pretty rosy initially after that earnings call, and then some reality setting in here. I think it's about to have a big test here at that 28.80 to 29 level if it gets there.
Yeah, that's funny, Miss V yesterday. That was hilarious. Yeah, great trade, Miss V, for you yesterday there, as hitting AMC. I was long, she was short, and then you saw how that turned out. I see you looking
Don't
at me.
trade against Miss V.
I
I was long. We were all long. Whatever.
Yeah, she's just crushing it. I can't say anything else about it. So that was Miss V crushing AMC yesterday. And we didn't look at AMC yet today, and I'm kind of wondering why that is. It hasn't moved too much today. We were looking at some of those bottoms, though, to see if they were going to be coming into play at all here, as I'm just struggling to get out of one of my positions. Okay, so it's fine. We're good. Okay, so now Coinbase back up. That's what I was doing, trying to set up some of these stop orders, but 287 is not really going to come into play for Coinbase, so no worries on that one. And this is what I want to talk about, space. Remember when we were up here and we were debating like 2780, 27 and change? Now we're even falling down even further now, down 12.5% now. So really glad that we still have this short on. CCL is retracing back in, so far so good on the CCL trade, I feel like. And then Coinbase, we already talked about that at 287. Let's find something new. What we always do trade here on the show is NEO, and we didn't get into that today. So let's have a quick look at this quickly here. Have a quick look quickly at NEO down. It does that early. No, it doesn't really. It drops a little bit early. That's not a big drop. Normally we see some movement on NEO at the open. That's not much, but look at NASDAQ today, starting to go to the downside, right? So I mean, it's been kind of going all day downside. Now we're red, so you have to watch out. I think NEO might have just made a nice little bottom there at 43. So let's check out a daily chart if there's any love for the daily chart here on NEO. Not much. We are near that 50-period moving average, which is 45, which isn't horrid. A 20-minute chart on that one too. Rainy is halted. I see someone mentioning on the chat there.
Is that the second halt? Because that was halted before, right? Like Rainy.
Someone's saying right now that it's halted.
Is that halted second? Anyways, yeah, Rainy is halted now. This has only done 1 million shares, by the way, guys.
Right.
So like this is very, very thinly traded. It's almost a double up, not at the 100% club just yet. It'll be on my radar. You know what? This is too big of a move to ignore. So it looks like it's volatility halt. It'll be open in 4 minutes, assuming it's not 10-minute halt. Usually it's just a 5-minute one. So we'll definitely check back in on it at some point. Usually these are going to be shorts for me, but I got to double check that we even have a locates on it in the first place. I do want to get over to Novavax. I would have hit a key for it, but we don't have them. So the second rollover better than the first. This is the thing, right? Like if you catch this the first time through at 245 or on the failed break or the second time through, obviously it's better than the third time through. So first shot here at 250 is able to come all the way back into that 245 level. So we do get out in 3 stages there. I'm going to back away. I'm actually not going to short this the second time. If it retests that 250, it only got to 249.50. I'd actually prefer a failed break at 250 to come back in on Novavax. It's a monster move, guys. I mean, this stock has been obviously hella strong. You can see not just today, but if I were to pull up the daily chart here, guys, it's in the midst of, I don't know, it's not going past like May. It's weird. My chart, and a lot of my charts are doing this, they're going to May 14th, and then it's like not loading back beyond that. May 14th is my dad's birthday. It's just so weird that my charts are stalling on the daily at May 14th. It's not May 14th now, but it's just kind of creeping me out. But this is what I'm talking about. Like Novavax is in the midst of a break here, trying to get back into this, like, you know, to the top end of that 275. So 250, the next level up. I'm not shorting it a second time. It's been good so far today. I don't want to look gift horses in the mouth. I don't want to get greedy. Well, sometimes you can get greedy. But Rainy we'll get to when it reopens. I did scalp some out on Fulcrum like we said we would in front of 230, so 23. Now if it retests these lows, I'll reload in the 2175 range. Like I want to get more shares here in this cluster as opposed to breaking out in front of that cluster. So I'm only reloading at a much better price if I get it.
Okay, and we're getting close right now, 287.50 here on Coinbase. We do want to get out of that if it doesn't hold. So 287.50, we'll get out for $5. I mean, shoot, we did have more on that one, and we gave it up there. So that was a bad call there. Not a bad call. I'm happy to make it, but whatever. We'll see if it goes back up. Oh, this is what I want to show before we go to Sector Watch, just real quick. NEO right here, 43.50. So if you could see this, I knew that there was something about it, so we went back a couple days.
Oh my God.
And then there was a nice little bottom there at 43.50. So it's not that it's going crazy right now, NIO. We can check it out really quickly here. But it's back to 43.75. So it's 25 cents. But that should have been bought. I mean, and I wouldn't have 43.50, but I probably would have 43.60 or 70. So missed opportunity there on NEO. But anybody looking back on that one, there it is. Sector board with Brennan. Pretty mixed, but I like more blue than red. That's for sure.
Hey guys, yeah, time for the S&P. Again, kind of muted once again today. There are a few jumping off the board here, but we mentioned those already over in the healthcare side of things. Pharmaceutical, PRGO down on earnings. Moderna right beside that, we talked about that. That's really it. There's Norton LifeLock, 8%. We mentioned on that acquisition news. And then below that, FLT reported down about 5%. Otherwise, the rest of the board is in positive territory, but very, very muted action so far today. Materials leading the way as far as positivity is concerned. Some strength in industrials and financials as well. Just worth noting, all of the banking sector in positive territory, but again, not huge moves, anywhere from kind of 0.5 to 1.5% right across the board for these. There are a few standing out here in the consumer discretionary retail names, specifically KMX down 2.5%, Lowe's up 2.5%, BBY 2.5% to the upside as well. So things kind of offsetting each other. That Lumen down here, LUMN, we've looked at before in the telecom side of things, 3.25%. Again, positive names, kind of muted overall, but helping to offset some of this weakness over here from the pharmaceutical sector. So 0.23 overall for the S&P. Guys, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Brendan. I know we have just a few minutes until we have a fantastic guest coming through, an interesting one. You put prophecy in your name, and it's just automatically epic in some ways. Robinhood, I mean, the price action hasn't been epic.
Smart brand and company awareness.
Exactly. It really is, man. Like, I have a pet peeve, and it's like if you have a really low-hanging fruit opportunity for a really good ticker symbol,
yeah, you got to do
it just doesn't hurt, right? And I'm looking at Hood right here, so obviously that's going to be a good one. But you just got to do those things, like when Ferrari race. I mean, come on, man. You got a chance to do it, you go ahead and do it and pull that trigger. But Robinhood down more than 5% today. Pulling back the chart just so you can see this 50 level, guys, because when this started going parabolic, you had a top at 49, you then had support at 50-50, and then it held 50 here before making its second push into 60, which if you look at this level, it's like fail break 60, hard top 60, lower high 60. So we've had an obvious $10 range here that could get breached. 50, I haven't seen the bid when it gets down there. There's a decent chance that if there's size there, maybe there's like a scalp long in front of it, but that's all I'd be willing to do. If 50 breaks on Robinhood, I'm going short on the 50 break. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. A little bit late to this party, but hey, if you're well dressed, it's okay to be late, and we'll see what happens on that 50 break, but I will have it. Got to make sure we have the locates. It's been free sometimes for us to short Robinhood. It's like free one day, paying 3 cents the next day, or paying 6 cents, then it's free again. So I have to double check to make sure we have the shortable shares, though.
I don't mind that word free, but yeah, we do love that word free. Space, talk about another decent name here, decent ticker, Space, SPCE for Virgin Galactic, of course. We all know the story with this name, and it's just been beat down today, down at another 12%, and we've just been short, and now debating on this cover at this level here, 27.60. So we should just take this dollar maybe if it does want to get back to the upside. Who knows where it's going to go from here, but whenever it's moving like this, it does give you a nice little opportunity to get out on that. We did double down there, or didn't double down, but we double topped at the bottom, 27.30. Double top doesn't make sense at the bottom, but we doubled down there. One hit there again at 27.30. So if that's enough probably for me now to think about giving it up if it does want to break through here. So we'll get out of Space, 27.65 break, just in case we go to the interview, and I'm not out of that one yet. So that's going to be where we get out of that, 27.65 hopefully on Space if it does break. CCL does go all the way down, man, into the 50 area. We talked about that. We didn't get any out on the break back up. That would have been good too, but Carnival, a big trade for me today, so that's a good one. And then Coinbase, man, another $8 winner for me on Coinbase. Like, look at that pickup down there. I can't believe we got that wick, but that's why I sit at 50s. Like, you're going to see me do that all the time, man. Like, look at this. This is the same bid right there. 281, 282 even there about, right? So we sit at these even levels, 50 cents, 75 and whatnot, and get rewarded a little bit there. So nice move back. We're going to get out if we do violate that level there, which is going to be VWAP. So we've talked about where our out's going to be on that one. Let's just continue to rock and roll, man. Crypto's going nicely today. Carnival going nicely, man. Folk, nice rebound back upside. We didn't take too much advantage of that, but this has been a good trade for us today, FULC. So it's been a spicy one today, Neil, and I hope a lot of our viewers are having a good time watching.
You better be having a good time. You're going to have an even better, trust me, and I say this, we love our show and it's fantastic, but we had fun watching Trader Pratt and Miss V yesterday. We're going again from 11 to 12 memes and movers. So you get the interview. I know it's going to be fantastic because it always is. And then you're going to get memes and movers. And then we're back at 3 o'clock. I mean, we're doing everything here, guys. And it's been a heck of a lot of fun to do this for you. For that, just before we get to the interview, Rainy, I'm just going to call it Rainy. We got to push down off that reopen. Like, I always love this setup. You guys You guys know the halt setup here. It breaks out and it's just hard rejection. When it gets back below the halt price, I'm shorting a consolidation below it every time, 25.5. Why am I looking at gift horse? Why am I looking at gift horse in the mouth, Neil? What are you doing? Let's see if I can't slip out here for a quick dollar. And if it goes to VWAP, there's actually, so what I have 2 bids. If it goes to VWAP, I actually want this thing breaking VWAP, and I'm looking back to like 22. So if I can catch $2.5 to $3, I'm not really shooting VWAP here. I'm shooting this pullback before that push into the halt. That was at 22, so I'm going to get out in front of that 22. If it takes out that halt level at 26.30, I'm out. You guys are heading to the desk now to Brendan and our guest of the day.
All right, guys, speaking of cryptocurrencies and speaking of decentralized finance and technology around that sector, Prophecy DeFi is making all kinds of moves in this sector that we're going to talk about a little bit today and get an introduction to the company with CEO John McMahon joining us for the first time on the show. We're so happy to have you, John. This is a really interesting time to be in this space specifically. And why don't we start off a little bit with an introduction here, how Prophecy got its start?
Well, thank you very much, first of all, for having me. And I heard your colleague compliment the name of the company, Prophecy DeFi. You know, prophecy is about the future. And certainly that's what this company is about. It's about the future of finance, specifically decentralized finance.
So bringing together technology startups in this space, let's talk a little bit about where the idea came from. Obviously, there's a lot of entrants into this space currently. What is it exactly that Prophecy is aiming to accomplish here, and what angle specifically are we taking heading into DeFi?
On March 2nd, I became chairman and CEO of a company called Bucephalus Capital, maybe not such a friendly name. And Bucephalus Capital is a public company trading on the CSE, but it wasn't going anywhere. They had about $1 million of assets, and it was largely unliquid. So I proposed to become chairman and CEO of the company and take it in a new direction. And that management team and board agreed to allow me to do that. And so I put a completely new board together, a completely new management team. We've reinvented the company from top to bottom. Since March 2nd, every single board member is new. Every single person on the management team is new. And the company is new. No longer Bucephalus Capital, it's Prophecy DeFi. We've conducted 3 financings. And in looking at the landscape, we wanted to hone in on a sector that we thought the market would be interested in. And certainly cryptocurrencies, and specifically the evolution of decentralized finance, was an area of tremendous, tremendous growth. And I've been in the business of finance here in Toronto for over 25 years. I was head of investment banking for Mackey Research, vice chairman of that firm. I was head of banking for Industrial Alliance. And in that 25-year period, I've been fortunate to meet a great deal of people in this ecosystem of finance. And one of those persons is a gentleman by the name of James Fox. He is the co-CEO of 9Point. And James and I have been friends for 20 years. 9Point is an asset management firm with $8 billion under management. And we started talking about what we could do with this platform. Bucephalus Capital is an investment issuer. And the idea of creating a venture firm centralized around decentralized finance came to the top of the list.
And the company did announce a strategic partnership with 9Point earlier in this year, and I want to get to that and some of the details involved in that partnership and what it has brought to Prophecy. But why don't we touch a little bit on the board members of Prophecy and also the advisory board as well, because you know, there's industry leaders involved in this project. What is it about Prophecy that was able to kind of attract some very quality individuals?
Well, thank you, first of all, for that. Very complimentary. Yes, we've got 2 groups. Our board of directors consists of myself as chairman. Stuart Hensman is a director. Stuart is a person of impeccable quality. He was CEO of Scotia Capital Markets in the U.S., chairman of CI Funds, a huge fund management company here in Canada. We have Charlie Morris. Charlie Morris is an exceptional individual as well, technology-driven individual. He runs a $300 million fund in the crypto space called CMCC Global. Makes a huge contribution to the business. Tim Diamond is another board member. Tim has founded and sold as a partner 3 investment firms, all tremendous exits. Another dear friend of over 20 years. And so our board comes from this background of finance, and with Charlie, we brought him in because of his expertise in running a crypto fund. So we're marrying the two skill sets together. On the advisory board, part of our deal with 9Point, who runs a digital asset group. So within 9Point, they have $8 billion under management, as I said, but they formed a digital asset group, and that is headed by Alex Tapscott. And Alex is extremely well known in the crypto space. He co-authored a book called Blockchain Revolution that sold 500,000 copies in 15 languages around the world. He's been keynote speaker at a Goldman Sachs conference. He did an incredible TED Talk. His father is Don Tapscott. They co-founded the Blockchain Research Institute together, just really immersed in the crypto space and respected all over the world. And so we're really honored to have him be our chairman of our advisory committee. And recently we made the addition of Sandeep Nailwal, who is an Indian-based entrepreneur. And Sandeep founded Polygon, and Polygon has become one of the largest crypto assets in the world. It's got about $10 billion market cap. And so him joining our advisory board with his stature in the industry is also a great honor.
At the point the 9Point deal was announced, there was also a letter of an intent announced as well to the company acquired 60% of Layer 2 blockchain. I want to discuss Layer 2 a little bit here and the angle of which Layer 2 has brought prophecy into crypto exchanges specifically. Tell the viewers a little bit about Layer 2, first of all, and what that has brought to prophecy.
Sure. So that is correct. We acquired 60% of Layer 2. We intend to purchase the other 40% of Layer 2 shortly. They're just working on meeting milestones. Layer 2 is run by a very talented group of young entrepreneurs headed by Andrew Young, who is the CEO of the company. Andrew is incredibly skilled in the crypto space and took his own personal family assets from $1 million in the crypto space to $35 million in the crypto space in under 2 years. And he formed Layer 2. Layer 2 is a company that injects capital into crypto exchanges. Your viewers, I'm sure, all know of Bitcoin. They all know of Ethereum, but there's 5,000 other cryptocurrencies trading on a daily basis. And just like the early formation of the stock market and the exchanges, you know, the Dow Jones was created 135 years ago. All of that infrastructure has been evolving over these 100 of years. The exchanges themselves, the fund managers that pour capital into these companies, the companies themselves that come to market, the market makers, all the infrastructure that we know so well that has come together over this 150 or so year period is being replicated over in crypto world. But it's happening in an incredibly fast pace. And Layer 2 plays a critical role in the formation and trading of cryptos.
So when it comes to the future, let's look off into the future now, John, as we talk about where this space in general will go. What is next for prophecy as far as venturing further into this space, and maybe talk a little bit about how you see this industry panning out in general.
Well, sure. You know, Prophecy DeFi was formed for the purpose of buying companies that operate in this space, and our first acquisition being Layer 2. And I can tell you, layer 2, right from the closing, I believe July 9th is when we closed the initial 60%, and we infused capital into that. They already were up and running and were deploying capital in these exchanges. We just put some more firepower behind them. And the company literally makes significant capital returns on our investments on a daily basis. And we're very excited about that and the possibility that this initial investment into this space will allow us to leverage and purchase other companies that are symbiotic to the layer 2 mission. So everything that we do in Prophecy DeFi is to buy companies that are involved in decentralized finance, people that are expert at their crafts, where we can leverage company against company and build a bigger organization. And so being an investment issuer, we're very fortunate in that we can advance the building of our business very quickly through that methodology.
John McMahon, CEO of Prophecy DeFi, PDFI, guys, on the CSE here in Toronto. A pleasure to have you today. We look forward to an update in the future.
I really appreciate the time. Thank you, guys.
There we go, guys. Prophecy DeFi, interesting angle to a ever-growing space, guys.
Absolutely, and thank you. Another fantastic interview. It's interesting. And the last word you said is space. Virgin Galactic's down 13%, by the way, so that continues to the downside. We only have a couple of minutes, so we got to go very, very quickly over this. That rainy resolved itself while we were in the interview, just so you can quickly see here. Remember I said I'm going to not take it out in front of VWAP there, that 24. I wanted to look back to this pullback cluster at 22, so we go 25.50. Last out will be about, like that $2.50 winner, just slightly more than that, 275. So RANI worked out for us. And then C-Web, it's not Chris Webber, it's CWBR, which, whatever. I've tried to come up with a nickname for this stock all day long, and I got nothing for you. I got losing trade when 220 broke. We got back in that consolidation there. It just felt like an absolute rock through $2, so we're only taking out in front of 2. When 2 breaks, we get out some in front of 180. Going to hang on to the rest of these for hopefully $1.50 to $1.75, somewhere in that range if it slows down. CWBR, big mover. But that's not the only thing moving. The NASDAQ going to test 15,000. And Coinbase still holding 290 for now.
Yeah, we did have this Coinbase all the way back. So an $8 winner now on Coinbase. It did go back to 292. So we're watching out for that one. Virgin Galactic still on the down. Oops, where's Virgin Galactic? There it is. Virgin Galactic, look at this. Tick, tick, tick. There's a beautiful short. We short that early. It's all off the sticky note. Another short right there. And we are still in this monster. So a good win there. And then CCL as well. Short, short, short. And see you later, alligator, as it keeps going to the downside right now, so we'll see how that goes. But I think we have a few earnings to show, Brendan.
A few interesting ones at that, guys. It is still earnings season. As we said, we're getting to the end, but here comes more to deal with after market tonight and before the open tomorrow, guys.
Here comes the hot stepper. I don't know. There's something called Palantir in the middle that I'm all about. My man crush for Palantir continues. NIO tomorrow, obviously the electrified Chinese EV name there, so that's going to be a good one. I mean, there's honestly, Root, I know, Neil, you've talked about that in the insurance space.
And Root's an interesting one because they got a big short interest, right? So anytime that you have a big short interest and they're trying to change the game, I think Lemonade's a better company, but that's my 2 cents. I own Lemonade, I don't own Root. But Clover is there, right? So I want to talk about, because Clover is making
interest. Can break 10.
It's at some bottoms here, guys, at $8. So interesting consolidation on Clover. It'll be worth the work.
Everybody's excited about our analysis.
Oh my goodness!
Of all of this.
This is an awesome national day.
It is an awesome national day, and we will get to that. But I do want to remind everybody that, really the stars of the show are about to kick off right now. So it's going to be 11 o'clock. We got Trader Pratt and Miss V.
She's blushing.
Just making her blush. No, but she knows it's the truth. So that's what that is, and that's going to be coming up very, very soon. Obviously, this we got to hurry up. This national day is pretty important, not only to us, but probably to many of you as well.
Guys, honestly, it's such an honor to hear from professionals like you that you like our meme show. And I agree, it's a very fun show, guys. So after this professional live stream, join our meme live stream. We'll be talking about stocks, discuss latest news, and just have fun. Also, join us at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for afternoon show, and happy National Sons and Daughters Day, everyone.
There we go.
That's a great day.
Yep. So I got one of each and more than that as well. But sons and daughters, obviously, we are both one as well. So I think it's very important.
Everybody's one.
That's exactly the point. So hopefully everybody enjoys this day. Give your kids a big hug on a day like today, and call your mother or father.
Absolutely. Always, you don't need a reason to. Always call.
Just do
your
it.
mother or father
Just do
if
it
you can.
anyways. What's
And
up, Mom?
every single
What up,
one
Mom
of
and
you.
Dad? What up?
What's up, Debs? Thanks for the
What up?
burgers. I always shout out Sean's mom. If you guys watch long enough,
We're gonna get in trouble if we don't.
Okay, I know we're gonna get in trouble. I'll tell the story later. Well, guys, you're going right over to Memes and Movers because that's what it's all about. It's fun. It's going to 12 o'clock. We'll be back at 3 o'clock as always. But Trader Prad and Miss V absolutely knocked that out of the park, and I think it's going to be exactly the same thing again here today, guys. So we want to be able to hand this one off. I don't know if we're going to the 4 box, which we did yesterday. There we are. Everybody's in there.
What up, Prad?
Proudly in the house.
What up, Prad? I mean, Prad wearing, he's already wearing better shirts than us. I mean, who is this guy? But look, Prad, we're excited for today. There's a lot of stuff moving. I know you've been trading Coinbase, so we'll throw it over to you. I don't know if we're throwing it right now, but I got to give the shout out to my kid Father's Day right there. So, you can't see it, but this is the trophy that I show every single day. Prad, take it away, my friend.
Thank you, guys. I hope you guys had a great day today. I started off well, but then sadly gave it all back. But we're still here. We're still alive.